trying to get everybody through. Thank you. Okay, and so when we're ready to go, let us know, because we're already running behind. And then we'll do the pledge, and we'll get a legislative update from AJ. Hey. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Strategic Planning Workshop of the Village of Ruidoso. I apologize, our special meeting, emergency meeting ran just a little bit long, but if you'll stand with me for a moment of silence, and then we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico as the symbol of perfect friendship among united cultures. All righty, everybody. Thanks for being here. And we have a special guest. We're sorry to keep him waiting. So for our legislative update, welcome Mr. Forty, AJ Forty, the Chief Executive. Oh, is it, I can barely see. Is that Allison?
Good morning, Mayor. Good morning, Council. Yes, it will be me this morning.
Okay, then I'd like to introduce Allison, the brains of the New Mexico Municipal League. Good morning, Allison.
Good morning, everyone. And yeah, I apologize that you didn't get AJ. You're stuck with me, but I'll do my best. Should I go ahead?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. So as the mayor mentioned, I'm Allison Nichols, the Deputy Director of the Municipal League. So I'm going to share a brief update on what we're tracking at the moment, our priorities, our concerns, and would welcome any questions. So as you all know, this is a 30-day session, so it'll be it's budget focused. So that typically means fewer bills move, and we typically don't proactively work on as many bills. We typically are more on defense. So, where we are now is that the state's finances remain fairly strong, but new money for the state to, enact new programs, increase the budget is limited. That's kind of plateauing. And so when we get in that type of situation, sometimes we see, more pressure on legislators to make policy changes that may shift costs onto local governments, or take revenue away from local governments. So we're always concerned about that, and especially, in this kind of budget environment. We're also focused on protecting local decision-making authority. We've seen over the past few years more and more bills that would preempt or override local decision-making, so limiting municipalities' ability to make decisions, especially on issues around zoning, housing, permitting, things like that. We also are, again, focused on investments in water and wastewater infrastructure. We know that cities have about over $1 billion in unfunded water infrastructure needs. So we're supporting increased investment in the Water Project Fund through the Water Trust Board, and also encouraging legislators to continue or to consider amending the law so that water project funds would not have to require legislative approval. Right now, all water projects through the Water Project Fund have to go through the legislature for approval. That just really slows down the process. Legislators approve those projects in January, February, March timeframe, depending on the year. And then we have to wait until the legislation is enacted, and then the money doesn't get out the door until late summer or fall. So it just really stretches out the process. So some stakeholders have come together and have suggested that removing that legislative authority would allow the Water Project Fund to make kind of more cycles every year. So just getting that money out the door quicker to Ruidoso and other cities. So specifically, some of the things we're worried about, I mentioned on the revenue side, we've seen some proposed tax deductions, gross receipts tax deductions. Some of the biggest ones we've seen so far are some deductions to certain healthcare services, and then also construction and labor for affordable housing. So we understand the policy goals behind these. Of course, I think, we'd all agree that we want more healthcare providers in our communities. We want more affordable housing in our communities. But when we start chipping away at that gross receipts tax base, that kind of creates a Swiss cheese effect where either you're giving tax cuts to some industries and then shifting the burden onto, other businesses, individuals, et cetera, or you're just taking that revenue away entirely, and then that's directly impacting local budgets. We see that in, reduced money for services, for example, for employee pay, et cetera. So, we're really focused this session on protecting that local revenue base. And we've spoken about a few bills, notably Senate Bill 13 and Senate Bill 92, that again create new deductions for the healthcare industry and for construction. So, our position is that those are industries that already receive, quite a lot of tax credit, subsidies, deductions, exemption. So, giving them more and more is probably unlikely to achieve the intended policy goals, and at the same time, it erodes our local revenues. On the preemption side,
Thank you.
as I mentioned, sorry, was there?
I'm sorry, Connie, thank you for admitting, Dick. Go ahead. I didn't mean
No worries. All right. So on the preemption side, we've seen a whole slew of bills that would really override local zoning authority. We've seen bills that would basically take away locals' ability to put in height restrictions, require certain types of parking, would require locals to allow multifamily housing in any residential zone, allow residential housing in commercial zones. There's a lot of proposals kind of around that. A proposal that would require municipalities to allow home-based childcare in any residential zone and not be able to do any conditional use permitting. So that's another one where we understand the policy goal behind that. Again, I think, we'd all agree that we need more childcare in our communities, in our state, but we don't want that to be kind of on the backs of local governments taking away the zoning authority that, has been given to them and that we think is an important function of local government. Another bill that we're concerned about is one that would require local governments to report quarterly to the state on a whole range of kind of permitting data, how long permits are being taken to issue. We're kind of worried about that one being used as like a punitive or kind of a gotcha type situation. We think most local governments are already collecting this data, and I think would be happy to share it with stakeholders if asked, but we don't want kind of an unfunded mandate. We don't think a new law needs to be written to force costly data gathering. So those are the main bills that we are focused on, the main issues that we're focused on this legislative session. So, as I mentioned, it's mostly defense. On the revenue side, on the tax side, we are waiting to see if there's going to be a tax package. Typically at this point in the legislative process, the tax committees are just hearing tax bills and not voting on them. And then they wait until we get closer to the end of session to package them up into one tax package. However, any tax cuts, that has to have some offsetting revenue to pay for them. So we're waiting to see how that shakes out. It appears that legislators are trying to raise some revenue by increasing the corporate income tax to pay for some other tax cuts. So we're waiting to see on that. Again, if they can't raise the revenue, it's likely there is no tax package. That kind of takes away some of the concerns about revenue erosion from GRT deductions. We are tracking that closely. So I will pause there.
Mayor, I had a question for, good morning, Allison, it's Ron here.
Good morning, Ron.
On the Water Trust Board of trying to not have to go through the legislative session, what's the possibility of that happening this session?
On the legislative authorization piece?
Yes.
We think there's a good chance. We know that there's good support from House Appropriations and Finance Committee chairs. We have been working with some legislators who are kind of concerned about, losing all their legislative authority to approve those those projects. So one, potential solution that we talked about with some folks was if we can put in the bill some more kind of guidance over how projects should be evaluated and what criteria the Water Trust Board would be using, we think that would address some of the legislators' concerns around, we're just giving away all our authority. So we're working on that now. So, we never know, of course, but I think there's a decent chance. The sponsors dropped the bill.
And that would be great because the process, we start in July and then we have to have the applications in by, I believe, like November, December, and then we do the readiness in January, goes to the legislative session, and if it's a 60-day and you're looking at, like you said, in the summer to fall whenever we start doing with the finance authority. So it's a long cycle just to use those funds and begin the projects.
Exactly. And I think there's a lot of agreement around that. I mean, a lot of legislators agree, and they would like to see this money get out the door sooner and be able to see more cycles in the year. So I think there's good support behind it.
Thank you, Allison.
And one thing I noticed about the preemption, for example, the local election preemption that they've pushed in and that we've been able to beat back, there's only probably 7 communities left. We're one of them that do our own elections, but they're getting to the point where they're making it all about cost. They raised it to $19,000 to be able to put it on our own elections. But I was talked to by the county clerk yesterday. She said it's more like 50,000, Yvonne. Yes. So it's going to be around 50,000. Okay, well, I argued with her because you told me. 2 years ago, we spent 18. Okay, so they're making it where smaller communities. So now the argument is going to be, City Council, why are you not taking this free stuff? And why aren't you letting the state run or the county, because the state reimburses the county. So these preemptions, they get you one way or the other. Yep. And so with what's happening on the elections, we'll start to see in planning and zoning where you forget about NIMBY. That won't even be a question anymore. They'll just tell you where it's going and what can be done. So we've fought against it. The league's fought against it. We think local government's the best government and should be in the most control, but we're getting beat to death on this at the state level.
Mayor, yes, you're right. We are seeing more and more of these kind of ramping up every year. And our position and one of our arguments has always been that, we can work with you. Communities will work with you. We can be proactive about this. A lot of communities, probably want to kind of look at their, zoning regulations, their permitting, and, maybe look at where they can improve. And, most of our communities want to be business friendly, but we don't want, to be hit over the head, with it. We want that authority to stay with the local government and to work proactively with legislators, with the business community, with other stakeholders to figure out how we can do this without taking away our authority.
Does anybody else have any comments, questions for Allison? All right, Allison, thank you. Say hello to everybody that's there, and we appreciate your time this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks, Mayor. Enjoy your meeting. Take care. Bye.
It's a great organization. Okay. Today we will have overview process, and we always go for review of form of government by our attorney, Zach Cook. You ready, buddy?
Sure. Thank you, Mayor and councilors. Every year we go over this, and it's just a review of the different forms of government that New Mexico, the Constitution and the statutes provide. The first is what the Village of Ruidoso is, the mayor-council system, in which the voters in the municipality elect the mayor, and they elect separately, the mayor is the executive, and then they elect the councilors, which act as the legislative body. In that form of government, the mayor, as you know, only votes in the event of a tie. And also the mayor has a strong role in the day-to-day operations. While he has a manager, he's also has the authority to act as the chief executive officer. So it's pretty simple. And I know you guys understand that. You've all studied a lot in your role on the council. The alternative is the, what is it called? Commission manager form. where the people elect the entire commission, usually of about 5 members, and then those members of the commission select somebody to act as the mayor, but it's more of a ceremonial role. He leads the meetings, but he can also vote just like all the commissioners, and he pretty much assigns all of his executive duties to a hired outside manager. So those are the basic differences. I've never represented a commission manager form. Reading the cases and talking to people, it's seems a lot different. I'm sure it's pretty easy to adapt, but I appreciate the role that the way we've got it set up and the way you guys operate.
That's like Edgewood has it, like the school board and the county commission and
Yep.
whatever. And then you have a home rule.
Then you have a home rule, which,
Alamogordo is one.
yeah, and what a home rule, the Constitution of the State of New Mexico provides that that a municipality can adopt a charter whereby they become a home rule. And what that allows you to do, so we're not a home rule, we're what's called a Dillon's rule, which is an old-fashioned, the standard way that municipalities were set up in the olden days. And that means that the municipality, in a Dillon's rule municipality, can only do what the legislature says they can do. If you adopted a home rule charter, then you can do other things as long as the legislature says that you can't do those things. So it gives a lot more authority to the municipality to rule itself, while the Dillon's rule municipalities like Ruidoso are limited in their authority by what the legislature expressly says that they can do.
Kind of. Yeah, it's a little different than that. But so we're set up as the mayor's position, sets the agenda, does a lot of the day-to-day stuff, the presentation, the speaking engagements, things like that. And the authority comes from the council, is the ones that vote on these things. And so that's the way we're set up. It kind of spreads out the power and authority so that we, I think, have a more well-based, balanced approach to things. So, all right. Well, thank you, Zach.
Zach, do you recall what the rules are as far as at what point do we have to district?
Over 10,000.
Over 10,000.
Over 10,000 is that's what I recall on that, so.
Okay, now then we'll go to review of the village mission and purpose statement. Yvonne?
Yes, I'm going to read the village mission statement, the overall mission statement. The Village of Ruidoso is dedicated and committed to providing friendly, innovative, and quality government services which will promote a healthy and safe environment while enhancing opportunities for all citizens and visitors who live, work, and play in nature's playground.
Thank you. Can we have Cheryl do a review of the organizational chart, please, ma'am?
Good morning, Mayor and Council.
Morning.
Good morning.
So as we do every year, all the directors and managers have updated organizational charts so that you'll be able to see where they currently stand. I'm just going to do a quick overview of head counts and vacancies for you all, and then they can delve a little deeper into that when they present. Currently, right now, we have 232 full-time employees and 14 temporary employees. Last year, at this time, we had 176 full-time employees. So we are growing.
60 new employees.
Sorry?
60.
We had 176 last year in January, and we have 232 now, full-time employees.
We were always funding the FTEs, and we never could get enough employees. So just like the police department, Public Works, we've been able to add to those police, to those positions. That's great.
And I'm going to just run through vacancies real quick, just so you all have an idea. We have, in executive, we have 2 vacancies, the deputy clerk and the economic development director. In police, they have 3 corporal positions, and they're getting ready to do the promotional testing in February. They have an administrative lieutenant vacant, an administrative assistant vacant, 2 code enforcement animal control officers. They have 3 dispatchers vacant at this time. Community Development has 1 multidiscipline inspector vacancy. Parks and Rec has an assistant director, Parks and Rec vacancy, and 3 maintenance techs. Water Production has a level 4 operator vacant. Water Resources has a water resource director vacancy. Water Distribution has 5 vacancies. That includes a water distribution supervisor, a utility warehouse technician, 2 maintenance techs, and a heavy equipment operator. Airport has 1 line service technician vacancy. Forestry has 1 forestry technician, and that concludes the vacancies. So we are still hiring full on.
Yeah, sounds like we need to really work on distribution, water.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I mean, other ones too, but that one seemed pretty critical. And those level 4s, you can't find those guys anywhere. So we're gonna have to work on that pretty hard too. Okay. Thank you very much. Next, we'll move into tactical plans, which is review and consideration.
Mayor, if I could just, a few words before we start on that, Mayor and Council, just 2025 year, it just seemed like it flew by. We had a lot of, we had some employees that retired, some directors, managers, and that went, retired. And so today with us here, with just looking at the Public Works crew, we have some new promotions and new directors. And so we're moving forward. I think our goal this year for the village is safety is one of our top priorities. Training, trying to get, you always have to wear a lot of hats, and we want to get everybody trained. We're out seeking a lot of grant funding, and we want to get all our staff really versed in what it takes to apply for grants, be able to manage the grants. And we'll continue to do that, and it's going to take a lot. So I'm excited about it. I think, the mayor always mentions what all the grants we're going through. We're actually doing a regular Colonias grant, working with Levi on that. We're getting that submitted too. It's due in March, and it's going to be 3 additional projects. The mayor signed off on the letters of intent on that. Be for millions of dollars again to help with some of our local needs, roadways and infrastructure. So it's good. We have, and just with our police department, being able to get officers, we have officers now and staff. We had a lot of vacancies. We did hire our deputy chief, and same with the fire department with additional positions there. So we're continuing to work on that. And as we analyze all the departments, we're 26, we feel it's going to be a great year. And we know that possibility with monsoons and things like that. But as Eric mentioned in our emergency council meeting, is that everybody responded and have a great staff. And I really thank everybody, and we'll continue on. So thank you.
Ron, I'm curious on coming up with the tactical plans for this year. Were these influenced at all by the preliminary work on the updated comprehensive plan?
Mayor Crawford, Councilor Corey, some of the items that we talked about, we really didn't get into a lot of the details on the comp plan. There was until it's going to continue on, but those are going to be more than likely be more used on our next year's tactical plans. But as we set goals in July 1st for the all the employees, we'll be using some of those for our goals for the actual new year. But these are all tactical plans on projects that we have in place that we want to get done, and just things that we have pending.
And then quickly, do we do any type of look back? In other words, as a department head and preparing this year's plan, do I review last year's to see if we made it or if it's no
Mayor
longer-
Crawford, Councilor, yes, we do that, and meet with the directors or the managers of that department. We always, for example, I'll use Levi again, going through all the last year's tactical plans to make sure if we had some that are still pending with the airport, we have some that are ongoing. So yes, we do that, and we'll continue on with that. So it's been a good process, and like I said, we have a lot of we have some new directors and managers, and they're getting firsthand of what it takes, and I think everyone has been very positive on moving forward, so.
And a lot of these we keep track of every other week in the capital projects meeting, the bigger ones to keep update, to find out where we're at, when they're completed, and then move forward.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else, Ron?
That's good, thank you.
Okay, so we'll start off with number one. That is Mr. Levi Bailey. Looks like he might have
His
got
hair
a little
looks
bit.
a little
Oh, he's
longer,
pointing
Mayor.
at number two. See, I get to see Josh all the time. He rides around in his truck. He's got boots. Are they even dirty yet? Yeah, he got brand new boots because everybody's moving up. So Public Works with Levi and Josh. Good morning, gentlemen. And thank you for getting all that cleared out of the middle of the road last night. You guys, how late did you have to work?
Just like 12:05, just about right at midnight.
Okay.
So,
So they went and picked up all the berm in the middle and hauled it off in dump trucks. They contracted out with some local contractors, so thank you guys for doing that.
And I think we had the Ruidoso Downs, they provided, Joey called me and they offered a couple of dump trucks, so thanks to
Oh,
the
that's awesome.
city of Ruidoso Downs, so.
Good morning, Mayor. Good morning, Council. So you can see our organizational chart there on the front and kind of how we have it set up right now and the positions we've filled. And we do have one vacancy. Our Water Resource Director position is currently vacant.
Levi, where are you guys physically located?
We work here out of Village Hall. I do.
Okay.
Me and Josh work here out of Village Hall. We're out in the field.
Whereabouts, back here?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So I'll start off with the first goal we have for this year. So it's going to be finishing up our Water Trust Board projects that we already currently have funding for. The reconstruction of Upper Canyon surface diversion. Ron did get us an emergency grant through Water Trust Board on that project. So I have met with the engineer up there with Sauter Miller, and we're looking at different designs to keep it from being a maintenance, constant maintenance.
But it is working, right?
We are taking water right now, yes, ma'am. We have half the structure still there, and we are taking, roughly 2,000 or 1,500.
So it's still damaged. We've got to do something, okay.
Yes, ma'am. And then the next project that we're looking at is the Wingfield 2 Water System Improvement Project. So that's a water line project we already have Water Trust Board funding for. That'll be doing the water lines over like Drooping Juniper, Santa Rosa, some of the Palo Alto, Jerry Shaw, those water lines in that area we've already received funding for, and that's currently in engineering as well with Sauter Miller on that project.
Hold on, Levi.
Yes, sir.
Ron, now that we could apply for Water Trust Board funds for sewer, is that neighborhood on the list once we get able to apply for that?
Mayor Crawford, Mayor Pro Tem Salas, yes, we'll be able to, any other areas that we're looking at, we'll have them on there. We have a list of ones that we've already submitted for the Water Trust Board this year, but we'll continue to apply for sewer projects.
Okay.
Yeah. And what we want to do, Mayor Pro Tem Salas, is we want to, what we'd like to do is get the design work done, so that way it makes it easier. We can apply for it, and then already have the design complete and just go out for construction funds. You get 24 months, and it makes it a lot easier and quicker to get those projects completed.
Wouldn't it be easier, and I know that I'm not in construction, but if we're gonna do the water, wouldn't it be, I mean, it seems like we're doing it, we're gonna be digging twice. What, why couldn't we put the sewer at the same time?
Mayor Crawford, Councilor Lutterman, just depends on the funding. Like doing the up on Pine Cliff, that's going to be one of our, that's one that we applied for, is we didn't have you have to have the matching funds. For the sewer, it's a lot more difficult to match those projects because on the water, we have the GeoBond and we have the SGRT. So we have to be able to once we get secured on the matching funds, and before you could not apply for water trust boards for sewer projects, and that just came in this year. This is the first time, so. But yes, if we can do that, we've gone out and we submitted 11 projects at approximately $65 million, and that's sewer and water projects.
Mayor, Councilor
Yes, go ahead.
Lehman. So that is something we've done too. We're gonna work on doing on Country Club subdivision. We currently just did the water, and then now we're applying for sewer. We're gonna do sewer, and then we'll pave after, the sewer is completed. So that's our goal, for sure. Just it'll be a temporary, paving in a patch for a year or so. It's just, we're almost handcuffed by the funding in a way.
And Mayor Crawford, Councilor Lutterman, we're also, even with the Colonias funds that we did receive, we're working on water line projects on those same streets, so we don't have to have a leak or old infrastructure there and have to dig up a new road. So Levi's been very proactive in making sure, and Josh, so we're gonna also have a water line project going on in those areas too.
Okay.
Okay, one more. Wingfield, is that close to Grindstone Dam?
It's up on the hill
All
above.
of those, that neighborhood?
Yes, ma'am. Drooping Juniper, the top part of Keys, Santa Rosa,
Okay,
those streets right there.
okay.
Okay.
And Mayor and Council, anytime you have an area with infrastructure, water, sewer, just identify those, and we'll always have them on our list, because we want to make sure that we're hitting areas. We still have a lot of non-served areas of sewer that we'd really trying to be very active in trying to get sewer to everybody. That's what we want. We want to go to the wastewater treatment plant. So that's going to be our goal now that we're able to use Water Trust Board. And I thank the mayor being part of as president, working with the New Mexico Municipal League to be able to get that done, so.
Okay. Moving on to the next project that we're looking at is the tank rehabilitation Phase 2 project, which is the demolition of the water tanks in Upper Canyon, as well as, so on that project, we have water feeding a different way. So we're currently in engineering with Sauter Miller, looking at different options, because we no longer have water going across the Rio Ruidoso because it's been blown out several times. So when Adam was here, he capped it on either end, and he has it, had the guys feeding it. We have it feeding a different way. So we're just looking currently at different options for that project to be sure that we have fire suppression up in Upper Canyon. Look at new hydrants up in Upper Canyon is something we're wanting on that project. And then the demolition on those tanks. Now, something I do see as potentially a challenge with that project is the access to getting those tanks out. So, and I'll stand for any questions on those projects. Okay, moving on to the next one.
Well, I do have a question.
Sir.
Is that the only tank that we're taking out this round, or we got more in line?
This round will just be those two tanks up on Upper Canyon.
Okay, because I get requests for up on Catron for the trailhead. I call it North Tank up here on the hill. For more parking up there is the only reason. And I go, I don't know if we are getting out that tank. For a while there, I was asking, let's get it back online, especially with that subdivision being improved there. But I believe we have enough water flow through there that would supply all that. So that was the only reason why I was asking about removing that tank. And yeah, you could park probably 10 vehicles where that tank's at. So maybe
Moon
next year.
Mountain Trail System up there, sir?
Yeah, right off of Catron.
Moon Mountain, no,
Or,
you're talking about over here.
I'm talking over here.
It's, the trailhead over back, where Perk Canyon and where the National Forest comes in.
Behind the police station.
Coconino.
Yeah, Coconino up there.
Yep.
It's like, I think it's a 50,000 gallon
Town and
tank.
Country.
Okay.
Mayor, Council, our next one is gonna be our GEO bonds, and this is to replace our aging water infrastructure and enhance fire protection, which, we're really trying to get up and get going around here, making sure all these places have, the adequate water for the fire protection. We have 1.5 million for this project annually. This next one is going into the Ash Drive, Maple Drive, Ponderosa, and Brady Canyon area, where we're doing our Colonias as well. So we want to get in there and get all of that replaced and done before we go in there and pave it with the Colonias.
Yeah.
Are we still doing, I'm sorry, leak detection?
We
That-
we do have a contract with a leak detection company that we can bring out, sir.
So Josh, when you talk about these projects, it's removing and replacing the water and sewage, or
This is for the water.
just the water?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And with that, I do believe, it's 6-inch line all the way through there is what we're gonna put in there, and then we'll be installing new services off of that 6-inch line to the houses through there.
And more hydrants.
Yes, sir. More hydrants, and then, with the Colonias too, it'll be we're gonna be doing a paving project, and we'll be using curb, in strategic areas to help with drainage mitigation, and then, I'm sure that the crossing there at Maple and as well at Ash will be a good project to get done.
And what was the Colonias, 3 million?
Mayor Crawford, members of the council, we received, it's 4,080,000, I think is what the total was on that. And then we're applying for another 3 different projects for the Colonias, and we'll keep our fingers crossed on that.
What you're doing is using the GEO bond as
Match on the water.
matching with the Colonias and whatever to multiply the funding, so good
Right.
job.
So these projects, Ron, are funded by the current GEO bond?
Partially.
Mayor Crawford, Councilor Corey, on the 4 streets that he mentioned, Ash and those streets there, that's funded by the Colonias for the roadway reconstruction. Then we're going to use our funding that we have, GEO bond and SGRT or whatever we need to use, and we're applying for other funds for the water lines.
I guess we can move on to the next one if y'all don't, we have any questions, Mayor, Council, on that project?
Go ahead, please.
I guess this one is a TPF project paving, so I'll let Josh speak on that one.
Yeah, this coming up is the TPF project that Ron had put in for our roads for Cree Meadows here, Meander Drive, and White Mountain Meadows Drive. We're gonna go through these roads, and have them patched in some of the bad spots before we go through there. I do believe it's gonna be Cutler that's coming in to do it the same that we've done with our other roads, our other TPF projects in the past. They're gonna come in, I believe these are just gonna be all overlays, right? There's not gonna be any milling to it, it's just gonna be complete overlay of the roads.
Mayor Crawford, members of the council, we're working with Cutler to do some prior patching to these roadways to be able to do that. Some of these roads on the sub-base are not very good. We had some, with any type of flooding in those areas or water, just excess water, we're going to do patching, and Judy, we're working on that. We do have a proposal from Cutler on that, and they'll come in like they did the last project and do some patching of some areas and then do the overlay on it, so.
And again, these streets get priority because of the school buses?
Mayor Crawford, Councilor Corey, the prior Public Works Director, yes, they were using any school bus routes. We were prioritizing those roadways to be able to get the funding, but we can, we'll be submitting another application here. We have to have it done by March, and we'll be looking for streets. Staff here will be making a recommendation on what streets.
And I suspect the people running for election and reelection are gonna get asked a lot of questions about the streets. Josh, do you have a feel for, how much does it cost per mile to repave a street? Do you know?
Our cost is gonna be a lot different than the contractor.
Okay.
You know, we produce our own asphalt, we do it, so I would have to get with Ron on that, and get an actual contract cost on it. I mean, for us, you know, to do our roads, we save a substantial amount of money when we do it ourselves.
Yeah, yeah. And Judy, all that comes out of general fund, right?
Counselor Corey, Mayor, yes, the street fund is subsidized by the general fund because the gas tax doesn't make enough money to support the entire operation, so it does come from that.
It sounds like it's pretty easy, Josh. Why aren't you paving all the roads?
With, you know, the prior things that's happened with the last few years, we've been fixing some of these roads. Our hot plant, we had our tank, you know, go down, and it took a while to get a new tank, get that back up and going, and it's, you know, every time we try to get going on something,
How old is that plant?
the plant is 1968.
Right, so to get
Boeing.
pieces for that, and it's still about $1 million worth of that, but we're the only community that I know of that has its own plant.
We are the only entity community in New Mexico that does have their own asphalt plant, and one of 14 in the nation.
I'll be dang.
And Mayor, council members of the council, on a Cutler project, they also, before we even submit our application, we have to have them come down because they can only run that train that they use on certain roadways. It can't be real curvy roads, so it's a good flat road, like Cream Meadows is gonna be one of them, of course, White Mountain Meadows Drive and Meander, but they have to make sure that their machinery can go through the road correctly, and there's just a lot of roads we'd love to have them do, but they can't fit their equipment on there.
The equipment's just too large to do it.
Counselor Corey, Mayor, Counselor Corey, on that too, though, this project was roughly $2 million for the 4 miles of road. And that's not counting the patching that we're gonna have to do before the project, before
So
the paving.
500,000 a mile.
500,000 a mile.
And Josh, I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm speaking ahead of time regarding streets, but have all the cuts from Kinetic been patched, and have we been reimbursed?
Mayor, Counselor Corey, yes, all the ones for Kinetic have been patched.
Okay,
And Councilor Mayor Pro Tem Salas, they hired a contractor to do the patching on those, so,
okay,
private contractor.
okay.
I'll stand for any questions on those. Thank you. Moving on to the next group of projects we're looking at getting done is sewer. So Maple Lift Station, Ash Lift Station, Guinevere Lift Station, and also an addition of a lift station at Meacham and Suttereth. So Maple and Guinevere, we both have open POs for currently, ready for the contractor to begin, and we have the equipment ready to be installed. So the contractor will be doing that here shortly in the next couple of weeks. Ash Lift Station is also something we're wanting to do. Just with the current flooding, there's a lot of damage to these different lift stations. Meacham and Suttereth is a lift station that is in engineering with Sodermiller as well, and I have met out on the site. We're looking at doing a lift station there, picking up the sewer that comes off of Sleepy Hollow as well as the sewer that comes off of Meacham, and pumping it over to Suttereth in a force main and tying into that manhole. And then it'll eliminate a lot of the issues we're having there with the sewer in the river. I'll stand for any questions on those.
Any questions?
Yes, sir.
Nope, we're all good.
So the last goal we have here on our strategic plan is the implementation of the asset management program. We did sign a contract with MyGov, and Isabel has been working with each of our departments, each of our managers, going around getting their information. And this will have ArcGIS capability to be able to do a full asset management as well as a work order system. So we'll be able to locate our water lines, our valves more accurately. And then we will also be able to use the work order system for our monsoon season for reimbursement. I think will be the biggest biggest benefit that we have using the work order system. I'm hoping that we can get it set up to where it eliminates our crew having to fill out 3 or 4 different paper work orders, and then doing the same thing multiple times. We'll be able to keep up, track different projects, provide a better service, I think, ultimately, so.
Mayor Pro Tem Salas, and council, this also is going to help with any tort claims we receive. When I get it, they're having to fill out a paper form. This is going to be, they'll have all the work orders, they'll have tablets to be able to take pictures if there's a sewer backup or whatever it may be, and that helps when I submit all this to the self-insurance fund, so.
Good.
And I'll stand for any questions on that as well.
It's all good.
Good job, Josh.
Thank you.
Good job, Levi.
Next on the list, water distribution.
Good morning.
I stopped marking my calendar, Marty, but I have a leak every day for the last 2 years.
You don't even care.
We already did that, so we can just.
Start with your organization chart.
Okay. So on this organization chart, I have myself, and then it be Karina Baca, office manager. Right now, Derek Vega is our warehouse maintenance worker, but he has put in his 2 weeks. He was doing really good picking it up, but right now we did have interviews. His last day is the 30th, and we do have a new person we hired. So they should be starting, I think, in another week and a half, or a week that they should be starting. So that one will be filled right away. Sergio Nava and Samantha Mars are inspectors. They've been doing a good job. Wastewater supervisor, we've had that one open for quite some time. We haven't had but a handful of applicants for it, and none of them had the qualifications to get that position. So we still have that one open. And so right now I have William Herrera, which is our other water supervisor. He's been double duty trying to take care of that. Joe Perez is our foreman on the wastewater crew, and he's been kind of filling in that position also. And Joe will be leaving in, I think, March or April. He's retiring.
Oh, wow.
So, then under him, we have James Sanchez, which is another heavy equipment operator, Lloyd Wayman, maintenance technician, and then we have a vacant technician, opening there, and then Ruben Jaramillo, he's also left. So we have another opening there, and then we have Corwin Jones, which is another technician. So our water crew is really lean right now.
Marty, why are they leaving?
They're,
Are they retiring or
No.
finding something else?
no, there was a personal situation with Ruben that he had to leave. But our other vacant position, that one's, been open.
Okay.
That was an extra position that we had added.
How competitive is our pay?
Yeah, I think in that department, we do have fairly competitive pay. I mean, we are having these guys work in pretty bad conditions,
Yeah.
it is, freezing cold.
Right.
But we did fill one of those positions last week.
Yes,
We did
so
fill
that-
one of those maintenance tech
That vacant
positions.
position, we did have interviews last week, and we filled that one at the same time as we filled the warehouse position. So we'll be having somebody step in, but we'll still have one more opening. And then, moving on to the sewer crew, we have William Herrera as the supervisor. Jared Stump is our foreman. We did have another heavy equipment operator there. He also left. He went to work for a private company. So we do have an opening for an operator there. We have Hernan Nunez as a technician, Julian Bravo, he's another tech, Jaime Reyes is another tech, Jesse Tercero is another tech, and then we have another vacant position there. And that's just one of the ones we added. We didn't lose anybody else there.
Okay.
And then we did add Steven Gutierrez, which is a light-duty mechanic. He's been doing a good job. We finally got some tools in, and he's been doing oil changes, alternators, brakes. He's been doing all kinds of stuff. They've had him busy. He hasn't been able to leave the shop. He's been working through lunch and everything, trying to keep us on the road, so.
So light isn't very light.
Yeah, it hasn't, it's changed a little bit there. And then, Jeremy Brown's our meter reader foreman, and then Manuel Medrano and Brian Kaiser's our technicians. Okay, and then our goals, our priority one is, retain manpower and recruit manpower. The Water Distribution Sewer Collections Department is currently facing staffing shortages which impact various everyday projects. This understaffing poses a liability and safety hazard to the public, our employees, and the village of Ruidoso. Capital investment in staffing would enhance our level of service. The strategic goal is public safety and protection, engage and energized workforce. We've been working with HR, trying to recruit new people, and it seems like we get surges of applicants, and then all of a sudden it could go months and we don't get one applicant, so.
Especially in the winter months.
Right, and we go through these interviews, and once we tell them, you know, we work a lot of overtime and stuff, and I think they shy away from that because sometimes they don't answer the phone after we do the interview, or different things happen on that.
And Mayor and Council, what we're doing, working with Levi, is if they have some projects that usually they do in-house, we're hiring a contractor to help out. So that way they're not always, if they're working on a project, they have a water leak and they have to leave, and we want to make sure these projects are getting done. So we're working with contractors, and Levi has been good about getting quotes and doing all that too, so, because we got to get the work done, so.
Yeah, we have quotes coming in for a few different projects that we're trying to get done, and we're trying to do it in-house, but we just haven't had the time or the manpower to do it anymore, so we did start getting quotes as far as like, I'll get to that on another part, but our lift stations, we did order all the parts, and we're going to go in there and replace pumps and railing and all that stuff, but we just don't have the manpower or the time to do it now.
Do we have enough qualified contractors in the area that can come in and do that?
We have a few.
Mayor, council, so that is something that we're looking at, just due to procurement requirements, getting on some of these contractors onto an RFP so that we can use the same contractor, because if we're restricted by, $60,000 to the same contractor, $60,000 doesn't go
Well, it's
very.
$60,000 per event, per job. It's not just the contractor.
Yes.
It can be this job and that job and that job, but like the lift station, it's not $60,000 to install the equipment that we've ordered, is it?
No, sir, no.
Yeah.
But it
So-
is something.
I'm sorry, Levi. Is it cheaper to have contractors?
Well, no, not really, but you can't find employees.
Well, I know. I just hate to, I hate to use contractors because to me, it takes away from, I know we need them. I
Well, these
get
guys,
that.
they're working
I get
crazy
it.
hours.
And the
I'm
plan,
just sorry
and,
that we
and the
can't.
plan that we had for the last couple of years when Adam was here was, we were trying to get a whole other crew, and then plus like 3 extras. And what we were going to do is we were doing we're going to be doing the fire hydrant program, which we're going to be replacing old fire hydrants, installing new fire hydrants, working on them, all that, just one crew doing that. And then we're going to have another one that was going to do our special projects, like if we want to add sewer line down the road or a water line, we could do that in-house with a separate crew, but we just haven't had the manpower to do it. But that was the original plan, was to do everything in-house.
And Mayor and Council, we've been working with Judy. We did receive some emergency funds from the New Mexico Environmental Department and Department of Finance, so we're utilizing that for some sewer projects and for water line projects.
So these openings Marty was referring to, we've budgeted to fill these positions. It's
Correct.
just finding someone that's
Correct,
the
and we did, you guys did, raise the entry rate on, well, across the board on my department.
Right.
So, I mean, these guys are, I mean, the money's there, it's just finding the employees that wanna
And
work.
Ron, refresh my memory, did we ever resolve the certification pay issue?
Mayor Crawford, Councilor Corey, we do have that already in place. We have the incentive for the certifications. Yes, that's all.
So
That's all
in
current. We
place.
also did, for the Public
Hazard.
Works, during the monsoon, we did a, monsoon season, we did a salary, we did that increase
Right.
percentage, so.
But we're kind of feeding our own deal because we have people that quit and go to work for the contractor that we end up hiring because they're not paying all the benefits. These guys are taking the hourly short term. And, you know, and that's some of the things that we have to remember. We're paying all the benefits, the para,
Correct.
all the other incentives that these contractors don't pay. And so they go to work for those guys. We turn around and hire that contractor. So if we could ever get our pay and our incentives good enough that we can stabilize and have continuity, that it's repeatable on our budget.
Right.
And then I think a lot of that would happen, but we've tried to raise the money, but it's just quite simply a contractor gives them an extra $2 to $5 an hour, but doesn't have all the retirement.
Exactly.
And so they'll go to that and then maybe come back and we lose our opportunity at them. So that's the nature of the beast. We've got to figure out how do we get the pay there? How do we stay competitive? And it would be awesome if you had separate teams that when you had call outs on water leaks, you could just send them to do it.
And that's,
Replacement of
that
valves.
that was the other idea that came up too, is that if we had extra crews, you know, instead of these guys being out there for 30 hours or 48 hours, you know, we could bring in the other crew and switch them out, you know, have a fresh crew in there, because to tell you the truth, you know, I would send them to the shop and have them lay on a cot and go to sleep for a couple hours during the day. Because if not, it's just like having a drunk driver out on the road.
Oh, absolutely.
And the thing with these guys being out there for 24 or 38 hours sitting in the back of the backhoe, you know, there's the potential of them hurting somebody else. So, you know, we're trying to eliminate them being out there so long, but without the manpower, it's hard to do.
Absolutely.
Does ENMU do any vocational training as it relates to?
Mayor Crawford, Councilor Corey, they're in the process of trying to work with Donna Ana County or Donna Ana, the community college in trying to do that. You can't do the testing, you have to be proctored. I think you have to go to Alamogordo for that, but I think you can do the online training and try to get certifications on there, so.
But we'll do the truck driving, the
Yes.
CDL training here.
I've seen that.
And we've worked out on that, but we've talked to the college about trying to do some additional training. Just running the heavy equipment, you know, that's a skill that you learn. All of these different things that we, and a big problem, and we're working on that, you know, is housing. We got to find a place for these folks to be able to come in and live where it's good, clean, safe, efficient, and affordable.
But a lot of these people are the ones that are down in those holes at 2 o'clock in
Oh,
the
yeah.
morning.
And I don't know, this is the time or the place to say this, but it's like my guys, they refuse to go home after they worked all these shifts, you know, all these hours, because, you know, I send them home. Well, you know, all that time in the cold and no sleep, they lose that time because they have to use, you know, for that day. You know what I mean? They're making overtime and they worked all those long hours and then to lose a day, you know, that overtime's going to, for those 8 hours. So,
So the 8 hours is figured on 40? I thought it was figured on 8-hour days.
40 hours.
What is it?
Over 40?
40?
Figured on 40, so
You have to work 40 hours, actual work time. Yep.
so that's, like my guys, they refuse to go home and then some of them, you know, well, I had Friday, you know, scheduled to take off, but I worked all this overtime Sunday night into Monday and then I worked Tuesday night and everything, so they just don't take the day off because they'll lose that time.
Yep. Because then that's a vacation. It's
Right.
not 40 hours.
Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, and for them to be working out in the cold and all those hours, you know, they don't want to lose it.
Yeah, I lived with a P&M guy that,
Well,
You still live with him.
I do. 50
Um,
years.
Well, that's something that we need to figure out. I think there could be a solution on that, on, you know, like we did on the monsoon, that we need to look at how that would do, and then maybe it would attract. Because we've really got to figure out something on that. Because we have the equipment, you know, that these guys could use. It's not a lack of equipment.
It's just miserable.
Well, I mean, it's a young guy's game, you know, to get in there and do that kind of work, and it needs to be, the pay needs to be there,
It does.
but I see what you're saying. I would
Oh,
do
yeah.
the same thing.
Right.
You know, if I've done all this extra work, I'm not gonna go home and sleep
And that's
Time and a
why
half over.
I've let them go get an hour or two, sleep on the cot in the shop or whatever, and that way we have something else, you know, they could come out, because if I send them home and they crash out, you know, they're not gonna hear the phone to come back out again, you know?
Nope.
So, but to get them a little bit of rest, or I just keep them at the shop, sweeping the shop 10 times, because I'm not putting them out on the road in the truck.
Okay, thank you.
Were your guys out a lot this last couple of days?
The
Yeah,
last couple weeks and this weekend, yeah.
yeah.
Okay, the next one is replacement of antiquated equipment. Replacing a 2008 420G backhoe. It was unreliable with multiple issues. It is in our auction stockpile right now. Let me see, this one's, oh no. Oh yeah, this is the one that we just received we received the new backhoe for this already.
Oh.
So that one's been replaced.
So, and we're leasing it.
Yes, it's on a 5-year lease.
Yeah.
The 2008,
Yes.
okay.
And then we have a 2012 backhoe. That backhoe has been worn out, and the pins in the back on the backhoe part are just completely worn out. So we've been using it in the yard just to load the trucks with the front end loader on it. The back end, we can't use it anymore. So we want to replace that one
Is that a lease as well?
and with another lease. And budget that one now for the 2026.
So on your pins and whatever, what kind of a maintenance, we've talked about it before.
That
We
was.
have a maintenance schedule, but I know then we lose our mechanics or whatever, so like grease and all that stuff's important on those.
They've been greasing it. It just,
It's old, I know,
that's the
2012.
one that goes out every single day and night. That one's the water crew backhoe, so it's continuously out.
Yeah.
And to do that one, they'd have to replace that whole back end and rebore it and everything. And I talked to the Wagner guys, from CAT, and, the cost of that it's cheaper just to go ahead and get another one, because it's just like buying another backhoe
Yeah.
with the replacement of that back end of it.
Can we change the hydraulic hoses, or do we have to call that in?
We replace them.
We can do it?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so you're looking at another lease on a
On a backhoe,
backhoe. How big of a backhoe?
another 420.
Okay,
And then, 2012 International Vector Truck, it's used for daily operations for sewer issues and standby for the FEMA sewer project.
Now, wait a minute, Marty, on the number 2 backhoe, was that already approved?
That was already approved,
Looked like it was approved January 13th?
yeah.
The first backhoe was, sir, the 2008 backhoe was approved, correct, Marty? We replaced that with the 440, and then the next backhoe we haven't taken to council to get
Okay,
approved.
so we should have had C,
Wait a minute.
because one that says it's
No, I'm sorry. The 2008 has been.
Delivered.
replaced- Has been replaced with another 420. And then the 2012,
12. You're just waiting on the signature on the contract?
I think these got mixed up because
Well, has the new backhoe been delivered to replace the 2000?
Yes.
we did.
So then that's already signed, sealed, the
With
212.
the 2012 backhoe,
If you can just review that and make sure that we're on point, because it says it's been approved by council, waiting on signature. If that's the case, let us know.
because we did receive a backhoe on the 440, but the 2012, that one has not been approved. That one I still have to put in for the 2026.
Okay, so we just need to make a correction on that. Okay. So just review it, and if there's any change there, let us know. And so we need to get another backhoe. Okay, go ahead, I'm sorry.
And we do own a 2012 International Vector Truck, and we use that one for daily operations for sewer issues and standby for the FEMA sewer project. Our action plan was to get a bigger Vector truck and lease it, and put that one on a lease instead of buying it outright, because after 5 years, we've just worn them out.
Is this one
What,
from,
what is a Vector truck?
It's the one that sucks the sewer, the big.
Shot back on a big truck.
Tank?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So I thought we got a new one.
We did.
Yeah, we
It's,
did.
it's on here. It says it was approved by council on January 9th, 2024, and the new truck has been delivered.
okay, but we're asking for another one.
No,
No.
that's, the update on that one, it has been
Okay.
delivered.
Okay,
Oh, it
so-
hasn't been delivered.
It has been.
Oh, good.
So what's the trailer that's like a small vac?
Rotter.
It's the rotter?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Oh, no, that's the Vermeer.
The Vermeer, yes, I
Yes.
see that one all over.
Yeah.
You're having to use it a lot on Gavilan.
Right,
that, yeah.
right. And that's because our old Vector truck is the only one that could go up there, but it's down right now.
Okay.
And that's getting repaired as we speak. And then the 12-yard dump truck, it was initially budgeted for the fiscal year of 2024. The funds were reallocated due to fire and flooding, and we replaced 4 of our older trucks. So we bought 4 brand-new trucks with that money. And now we're awaiting state price agreement renewal. So the state price agreement, they were updating it, so we're just waiting on that one because we are ordering a brand-new dump truck with that.
Okay, new 12
Who's
yard.
the vendor, Marty?
Rush. And that's all we were waiting for was that state price agreement renewal. And then we have a 2013 Ford F-150. It's used for daily operations for water and sewer issues and for inspections on projects. The action plan for that one is we want to budget for a new truck, a replacement and for the 2026 year. Also a 2002, it's used for daily operations and we want to budget to replace that
The
one.
Chevy 1500, number 8.
Yes,
So are those new Chevy working out the half-ton with the 3/4 ton frame, basically, is what we were told? Are those doing really well?
the 3/4 tons, yes. And these ones are just gonna be half-ton trucks. They're not gonna be the diesels on these ones.
These would just be the half-ton?
Yeah. Yeah, these ones are used for like the inspections and the meter readers.
Gotcha.
So they really don't need the 3/4 ton, but just driving all over town and reading meters and doing the daily operations is just, it's taking their toll.
Oh, yeah.
So we're still having to read a lot of meters? Or is it
They're
just
doing
checking
a lot of the leak the leak issues and checking
No
for the leaks.
spotters and things of that nature?
No, when they get the leak list from Village Hall, they have to go out to each meter and see if the leak's on their side or in our meter cans. And then they're also going out and helping the crews and they're just nonstop also.
Okay.
Turn on and turn offs of the meters. And then after hours, they're using those for the on-call trucks to go check out water leaks and sewer blockages and such.
Okay. Thank you.
The 2013 Chevy 1500, the same thing, daily operations for water and sewer needs to be replaced. We're going to put that for the budget for 2026. 2009 Chevy Trailblazer, we've been using that one for the warehouse position. And that one's getting worn out. We're having to let him use one of the other trucks that if somebody calls in or whatever to use to get parts and stuff, because we can't put pipe and all that stuff in that little Trailblazer.
Yeah.
So we're looking for another half-ton truck with a rack so we could take pipe out to the job and parts.
Yep.
Instead of trying to stick them in the back end of that little Trailblazer. And that one's, action plan is budget for 2026.
Okay.
The milestones is, the goal is to receive the new equipment, strategic goals, sustainability and maintenance of infrastructure, public safety and protection, engaged and energized workforce, capital investments to reduce O&M and COS needed to maintain antiquated equipment at current LOS.
Judy, have we done, I presume, a cost-benefit analysis on lease versus purchase?
We have in the past, however, the usage on the trucks that they've been doing since we've been going through the fires and the floods, it looks like the maintenance and everything outweighs us buying it. So we usually get into leases because we know we're gonna have these disasters going forward, so we'll get a new vehicle or a piece of equipment every 5 years.
So leases of this type, are they tied to mileage, or is there a lump sum payment at the end?
No, you have it, just for a period of time. They don't have a limit that they have to stay under engine hours or anything
Okay.
like that. They also can get all the maintenance, right, included in the lease and some other things that come with the lease.
Okay, thanks.
And then steps to achieve this goal is the budget that all these, vehicles and stuff for 2026 and then procure the vehicles and equipment. Replacement and, so priority 3 is gonna be replacement and raising manholes throughout the village. Manholes on Highway 70, the manholes have been identified, are being eaten up by the sewer gases and are deteriorating. There are 24 manholes, identified. So these manholes, extend all the way to the reservation line, all the way down to Cherokee Mobile Home Village. And just the gases that we're getting out, because they do have a holding tank there at the travel center. And so when they pump, it's already septic usually, so we get a lot of gases coming down. And I don't know what it is, but that set of manholes, even on the reservation side, all the concrete's just falling in, and some of them have exposed rebar, and some of them, even the troughs on the bottom are getting real thin where it's almost, there's nothing there anymore.
Why are they holding the waste?
They pump it every so many hours. It has to get to a certain level, and then they pump it, but the gases there are really, really bad.
Have we talked to them?
Yeah, we've talked to them, and like I said, I don't know if it's just that set of manholes that, that batch was a bad batch, because even theirs on their side are doing the same thing.
So, Marty, that's coming off the travel center only?
Correct.
Okay.
Marty, what's the age of those manholes, do you know?
Oh, I don't even know.
So that's coming off the travel center, it's not the ones coming from the inn or the tea room or any of that?
No, because that stuff comes down, Carrizo Canyon.
Right.
But this other stuff's just the one on Highway 70.
You had this last year too, didn't you?
Yeah, I did,
Yeah.
and we have not done that
Just haven't
project
been able
yet.
to do it.
Correct.
And I know the JUB, we've talked about this a lot. and looking at the fogs, fat, oil, and grease content and other things that come out of that, and sometimes it's high. And then Isaac will send somebody out there to retest. A lot of it, they think it's when we take the sample, but through the grease trap and everything, but we have had issues there. But other than that, everything seems normal.
Right, and I mean, it's, like I said, it could be a bad batch of manholes throughout that whole area, because that was all installed at the same time, and all of them are falling apart just in that section. And we don't have no problem anywhere from Cherokee Mobile Home Village down to the Y. There's nothing wrong with those manholes, it's just that section.
Yeah, well, it's over 20 years old.
Marty, is that a brick manhole or what is
No,
it?
they're concrete.
Okay, because, yes, mayor and council, those gases are, they really can,
Acidic.
oh, they're bad.
Yes, and for a contractor to do it, they'd have to set up bypass around one or two of the manholes and just do one at a time and.
Be
just
recoded?
Replace it.
Or just replace it? They can
Just
put
replace it.
Okay.
So what they do, chip that out, take it out, and put in a sleeve, one that's already manufactured, and
Yeah, just take out the whole structure and just set a brand new manhole in there and replumb it and then move on to the next, move their bypass and just.
would
come
that be a
on down.
JUB project?
It would be, because it's an interceptor line, Mayor.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we just,
How are they built?
Billed. They're billed monthly, and we're actually in the process of assessing a rate analysis for the tribe. Because we haven't raised their rates.
But Mayor, how is that? Is it volume-based pricing or?
Mayor Crawford, Council Corey, we have meters set at, that's measuring that, and it's been a difficult process because it's hard to do wastewater, because if they don't clean and maintain where the metering station's at, and it has sludge in there, it's going to have a false read, so they need to make sure they're maintaining them.
So we have to go out and check them, but
Yeah.
we haven't done a rate analysis on the tribe in years. So just like us and the Downs has done theirs, we're performing one on the tribal too. So there'll be an increase for sure.
And they do clean out their grease traps like I think it's every other Thursday or every third Thursday at night. And I haven't been out there in a while, but we usually go out at night about 10, 11 o'clock, because that's when they go and pump them out. So we go out there and just make sure that they are pumping them down to the bottom and not putting anything else in those tanks at the travel center and at the inn.
Are they held by different standards?
No, they're a customer, and so we hold them to the same standards on the analysis. Isaac and these guys run analysis on the things that are coming into the plant.
Right.
And then we have checkpoints where we pull samples for Ruidoso, for Ruidoso Downs, and for the tribe too.
Okay.
And all the way up to, what's the loop? Palmer Loop.
Yeah.
Mayor, do you recall approximately what percentage the inn and the travel center make up as far as the wastewater treatment?
No, I've got the paperwork probably on my desk, but I don't recall
Okay.
from memory. Do you, Gary?
No, I don't think it was ever stated.
Well, they'll have, like we're about 85% of water that goes in.
Right.
And then between it, the Ruidoso Downs,
It's 15.
and then there's a separate amount that comes in. I don't remember what that is.
We do 15% to Ruidoso.
Yep, and how much is to the tribe? I can't remember that number.
They're a customer.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
but we do have an amount that they're billed out, and it's, I can't remember what it is. I don't
What's
know
that
why.
average, Robin? Because they read it, they read the meter every day, so what's that?
But that's what we're analyzing right now. We have had
Highest
some issues
customer.
before at Apache T and at the processing plant before of not pumping out their grease traps and or grease traps enough, and so we do inspections and work with them.
Apache T and that other little stand underneath the zip line, they did not have grease traps, but they have put one in since at both.
Yeah, but I remember when they built the travel center and the new inn, I mean, we came to their aid because they hadn't thought that through, what they were gonna do with all that wastewater.
Well, it's just temporary.
Yeah, yeah, like taxes.
Okay. There are valve boxes and manholes throughout the village that have been paved over and sit below grade that need to be raised. There's multiple streets that the manholes have been paved over and the valve boxes to turn off water have been paved over. So that makes it harder for us at night, or when we're trying to turn water off for a leak. We're having to dig up asphalt and try to find them in the middle of the night, and that's been hard to do. So now I've been trying to work with Levi and Josh about when all these paving projects come out, that they include that to raise the valve boxes to grade, and same thing as the manholes.
Good point.
Because the manholes is a safety issue, because all the lids have a little hole in them and it's a vent for the gases to come out. But when they're paved over, all those gases stay in there, and that's dangerous for the guys. Also for homeowners, so their
Could they
P-traps,
explode?
they could. Sure. And if the P-traps, like in these houses, they go dry, all those gases go back in the house. So we need to make sure that all those are included in the projects. But right now, we do have a lot that need to be raised, and we were going to start doing that in-house, but I ordered everything to do it starting on Carrizo Canyon. But manpower, we just don't have it. So, we want to place those different projects out to bid and hire contractors, and then identify portions of town to begin raising valve boxes and manholes, which we have an idea of where we're going to start. But that's it on that. If anybody has questions on that.
So how many manholes do you just kind of estimate off the top of your head?
Oh, there's probably 100 plus.
And so you just kind of have to guesstimate where they are then?
Right.
And what they do, I've seen them out there with a metal detector, trying to find them. And then with a pick, trying to dig out the asphalt or different things.
So the travel center for January, they used 84,000 gallons of water. Their bill was $608. December, they used 89,000. Their bill was $533. November, they used 105,000. It was $510.
What?
That's just the travel center.
Bills.
Why is it going different?
And
Why the
then-
more they use, the cheaper it gets?
That's
And
for
then
what?
the inn, in November, they used $2,258,000, $13,000 was their bill. December, they used $2,307,000, $11,000 bill, and January was $2,741,000 at $10,873.
And those are the numbers that are read off those metering stations, so.
Well, the travel center, that's,
They have the subdivision also with them on the travel center, so.
A
There's
little
small-
bit of clarification
Yeah.
of the water they use. That is reservation water, and then we base off their usage for the sewer that's coming down.
No, there's a meter, there's a digital that measures the sewer or a light.
Correct.
Yeah, but it's their water that goes in the
That
sewer.
goes in the sewer. I just wanted to clarify that because people start thinking that we're supplying them water.
No.
Yeah.
And there's not at all.
And then the next one is replace and rehab lift stations on Gavilan, Thrill Hill, and Guinevere. The lift station on Gavilan, that's the project that we have going on now, and it's not a replacement. It's gonna be a removal of that lift station, and they're extending the sewer line down Gavilan and connecting to existing sewer line there, so we'll eliminate that, and it'll be just gravity flow, so we'll have one less lift station there.
Okay.
Cree Meadows, this wasn't updated. So Cree Meadows, which is Thrill Hill right here, install a new control panel. That's already been done and completed.
Is that right here?
Yes.
Yeah.
That one's already been done and completed.
Okay.
On the Guinevere, That one's gonna be a complete rehab, including a new pump system, plumbing, railing system, and sealing the vault. Install a new control panel, and, staff are currently working with electrician and P&M to update the electrical system.
How's that going?
So some of you that don't know, so that lift station was put in years ago, and there was nothing pumped to that lift station because we didn't have no houses up there yet.
Oh, this is the one way up on top.
Correct.
Okay.
And in the last few years, the houses have been, they've been building up.
Big ones.
Yeah, and they're pumping in, they're draining into that lift station, but that lift station wasn't used for years. And so since we didn't have no usage on the meter, P&M went and took our meter out. And then they wouldn't put it back because we had to update the electrical system there. And then the equipment there was a vacuum system that we don't use anymore, so it was old. So we went and gutted it out, and I bought all the new equipment to put in there. But again, manpower and time. So we did have Ricky LeMay go in, and he worked with P&M, and they set a new pole, set a new control panel, and a pad. And now we do have a contractor that we just hired, and they're gonna go put in the new pumps and railings and everything in there.
Are you still having to pump it?
Yes.
How often, every 2 days?
That one's like once a week.
Once a week?
Yeah, there's just a few
So the
houses.
other one, and this is when you go all the way up Warwick, and you get to Guinevere, you take a left.
It's in the dip on Guinevere, yeah.
And so the other one going up Guinevere, it's over to the left, isn't there a lift station right there? Or what is that?
It's on the right on Guinevere.
It's on the right on Guinevere? Okay.
Uh-huh.
And that one's in good standing?
That's the one that they're working.
That's this one? I thought that was when you went up, it was to
It's
the
right
left. and-
right before you get to Excalibur. You know, where you take that sharp turn,
Yeah,
where they have that
you
mirror
get
there.
up to the top, Guinevere goes, I used to live on Guinevere. So you go to the left when you get to the top, and then it's on Excalibur. Excalibur's all the way to the end.
Right, right.
So that's the one, there was no homes out there, and they've built a lot of nice homes up there, done a lot of thinning.
Correct, and now we finally got a contractor, and I do have all the equipment at the shop already, so they're gonna be installing that. And I don't know when, Austin had said.
I think in the next couple weeks, sir. We have open POs with him on that and on Maple Lift Station as well.
Who is it?
Summit Enterprises or Austin Miller.
Oh, I didn't know that was
Yes, sir.
his company. Okay, good.
Is that the inspector?
No, that's Austin Miller's the contractor.
Yes, okay. What, do we need to hire an inspector?
We have inspectors in-house that
Okay.
manage these projects.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and that'll be it on that one. And then, well, this one, current strategic goals, sustainability and maintenance of infrastructure investment. All parts have been ordered and received. And then the Guinevere Lift Station control panel has been set, and P&M has run a new service. And that's just a part of the same thing. The contractor has been hired on that one. The next one is priority 5, which is fire hydrant and valve maintenance and replacement program. The Water Distribution Department has an obligation to the public to provide adequate fire protection within the village. The village needs to add and replace fire hydrants to maintain our current ISO rating. In addition to fire hydrant maintenance and replacement, this department needs to further maintain and replace valving within the village to help isolate water leaks water during water breaks. Working with the fire department, we have inspected and GIS mapped approximately 1,100 fire hydrants. The steps needed to achieve this goal is to recruit and maintain personnel to provide the level of service needed to continue this program, dedicated funding each year to this program, continue to conduct fire hydrant inspections, replace hydrants as needed, and install new fire hydrants. So as far as the inspections have gone, fire department has done a good job, and they've gone out and inspected the outside of the fire hydrants and the caps and make sure they turn on. I did order all the equipment needed to go ahead and so we could check the pressures and the flows on the fire hydrants, which I've been doing myself. And me and one of the inspectors have been going out and looking at all the different fire hydrants, looking at all the older fire hydrants that need to be replaced, because a lot of them just have the two ports on them, and they don't have the steamer cap, which is the big one, so they're really old. There's a lot of them that are set really low in the ground, so you can't even get to the caps to put them on. So what we wanted to do there is I've ordered some more fire hydrants. I got like 10 or 12 in so far. We want to go ahead and replace these fire hydrants at the level that they're supposed to be. Also put bollards in front of them. And we want to paint all the fire hydrants red. That way, we can actually find them, because some of them now that they're painted white, now that it snows,
Well,
you
we
can't
did
even
that
see
for a
them.
reason, was to signify the water line size. Do we not need that anymore?
We're gonna be painting the caps too, so as we're going through, we want to check the pressures on them and paint the caps the different colors, so we know which ones are what pressure.
So when the artists come and say, we want to paint this guy to look like whatever,
Right,
the answer is we can't because,
correct.
that's what he said.
And it's just so we can locate them, like, I mean, really fast, when it's snowing or at night. I did buy some more, they're like fiberglass poles, and they're blue, but they're reflective. And we're gonna be putting those next to the fire hydrants on the roadside, so that when you're driving up, they will reflect and they can see them if they don't see the fire hydrant. And they're gonna stick up like 3 or 4 foot tall. And they're just little fiberglass poles that we're gonna be putting in.
Most of the line is, what is it? How big is the line? 6 inch?
6 inch
6
minimum
inch
for the fire
For the
hydrants.
fire.
And we do have some on 2-inch line.
I thought we'd replace that, or I know some in Upper Canyon were 2, and so I thought we'd replace that.
Terry and I were just talking about one on Alhambra. It's a 2-inch line that needs to be replaced, but we're currently working on a project to get that one
Okay.
to 6 inch. But also talking with Terry, we're gonna probably have to do a pump station there to be able to support that area with 6-inch water.
Because even on that 2 inch line, it's low pressure up there on the top. I mean, that's a really steep hill going up there.
Yes.
So we've talked about a few of them, replacing them and adding fire hydrants to the area, because there's no fire hydrants at this time.
What does a fire hydrant cost?
It's a couple thousand apiece. And right now we did get quotes. We were gonna try doing this in-house. Even if it just took me digging out there and another guy or 2 other guys trying to replace these fire hydrants. But we did get a quote on a contractor to do them, and it's running about 5,000 on a fire hydrant.
Oh,
Including the hydrant?
No.
No,
Not included.
not just the labor and the digging.
Wow.
We supply all the parts on the hydrant and the valves and everything, and that's just taking one out and putting the other one in, and it's
And
running
that's
about,
if the pipe holds and everything's good.
right. And it's running about 5,000 a fire hydrant.
Mayor, council, and we do have some emergency grant funds. So me and Marty have been looking at, he's been compiling a list of the hydrants that were affected by the floods and by the fire in those areas, and we're gonna come up with a project to hire a contractor to do a big bulk of them at once.
Yeah.
So we're looking at doing possibly 8 to 10 of them at a time. Since the cost was so much a piece.
yeah.
Okay. I think that you're on the right track with that. You're how many short? That's what I was trying to count up. Were you 7 on staff? I didn't see it written down unless I'm just missed
I
it.
got one.
On your treat, because I don't know how you can take 3 people out. And what does it take? A day to replace one?
Fire hydrants?
Yeah.
It takes a whole day.
Well, to dig it out and to get it set, and a lot of these, just from sediment and stuff, have come up on those fire hydrants. You're gonna have to clean out around it.
Yeah.
And then to does that include putting the bollards in?
No.
$5,000? Oh, it doesn't? Because we
No,
definitely need the
that was to
bollards.
dig it up, cut all the bolts, take off the old one, put a new one in, pour the concrete thrust block, which we were supplying the concrete for, and then bury it back.
Okay. Because the bollards, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I wanted, so the plan was that I came up with was we were gonna go through and remove all the dirt or any trees that were within 5 feet of that hydrant and clean it all up so it has accessibility to all three sides of it, and then put the bollards in the front with the marker and have them all red. The problem I'm having now is it's taking longer to get red fire hydrants. So they have yellow ones in stock, and the red ones are more expensive. So it was cheaper for me to go ahead and buy yellow ones and then buy the paint from them, just to paint them after we put them in.
And they're all the same spec?
And we're trying to move over to all Kennedy fire hydrants, because right now we have like 4 different types. And Kennedy, the reason we're going to Kennedy is because we're having to stock parts for all the different ones, and some of them you can't get parts for anymore. And Kennedy has not changed the way they build them since they started, and all the other ones they've changed. So some of the parts we have now will not fit the newer style
The
hydrants.
same brand.
So Kennedy has stayed the same the whole time, so I want to change over to Kennedy, so that's all we have, and we can always get the parts, they're always available.
Can the fire department help with the testing?
Yeah, they do the testing.
Inspecting and
So
testing.
I got with them, and I did buy all the equipment to test it, and we're gonna be taking them out with us to show them how to do that. So we
Just
can-
turning them on and off, we've learned that. We need to make sure the firefighters understand how to slowly turn them on, slowly turn them off.
I mean, the other day we turned one on real slow, and Terry right away called me. Yeah, a couple of times, and I mean, we were turning it on slow, but it did affect the pump station, so, or the PRV, so we and we were turning on. He says, "Somebody turned it on." I said, "I'm standing right here. I can see they were going slow." But
So this over on Gavilan or Hull?
no, it was over here on Ash
Ash,
and Brady Canyon.
okay.
Marty, on the fire hydrants, on the new projects, just like the country club, is that what they're using there, they're using the Kennedy?
Yes.
fire- Okay, just
Yeah,
to make
and all
sure
the
that
new
we're.
projects, any water line extensions we've been
Okay.
doing, high loop, any of that stuff has been, we're requiring them be Kennedy fire hydrants.
Okay,
And on those ones, they are putting the bollards in, and they are red, so they got that spec right, so that's what they're doing on those. Yeah, and we have 4 vacancies now.
4 vacancies.
Uh-huh.
Now, you'll have to just make that assessment on what's the capability, and then we need to look with the chief on just the ISO requirements on the time frame when we get reevaluated. We met with the state fire chief the other day, try to, maintain our 2. But maybe coordinate, because I don't know how you're gonna have time to do it.
Right, and it's, the other thing is, getting these guys involved in doing one of these, and then we get a water leak,
Yep.
I lose the guys. So, it's like I can go do it and pull one of my inspectors and pull a meter reader guy, and we could go do it, it's just could be like one a day, and it's not gonna be every day, but we can start getting some of them done in-house.
Okay. I think maybe in your budgeting, we need to include a contractor, this contractor, and then the ones with the bollards and wherever you need them, so that we can, because I just don't know how you're gonna have time to do it.
Right.
Okay.
and Mayor and Council, that's another good project for Water Trust Board, is replacing all the fire hydrants, so something to look at. And I know with our other projects that were applied for, we included the fire protection, so,
That, what, 11 projects?
yes.
And that's one of the things that Allison was talking about. They're trying to bypass legislative approval and just take the recommendations from the Water Trust Board to speed this process up. And so That's one of the things that we've been pushing for is to just get,
So cut out some red tape.
in time, a lot of time. And then we could go and get funding, but we look good on the 11 projects right now.
And I did hit the area where it was affected by fire and flood first, and there's about 12 to 15 fire hydrants that needed to be replaced. Some of them, the hydrant's not even there anymore. It's just, we have it shut off, but the hydrant's not even there anymore. But it's to replace that section first, and then we started looking at other areas of town where the fire department did go, and we have non-working fire hydrants. That's gonna be the next batch.
Were any of the fire hydrants adversely impacted by the fire?
So you have the caps on there, and they got so hot that some of them, the caps are just seized on the fire hydrants. You can't even get them open.
Wow.
And then I have others that they have rubber gaskets in the bonnet and different areas, and you can see where the rubber just melted
So,
out.
Marty, are those included in your list of?
Yes, so that's
fire hydrants?
the first batch was the fire and flood area. And then I got a couple over here by the Elegante. The bonnet's just completely rusted out. I have another one by the pro shop, and that one's, doesn't even turn on. So that's gonna be the next round. So,
Are they all cast iron or what?
yes.
Okay.
Going back to the equipment, I would ask, and Ron left, but I remember in the 20th century that we got to use SGRT funds to buy a backhoe because that crew, it was specifically replacing water line. And that's how they got, they won't get a dump truck or something, but that might be an avenue to check into to see if that's possible on that. Of course, that was in the last century, so.
Huh?
I'm not sure, because I know that it has to be
What?
infrastructure, water.
Yeah.
But I would think so, I mean, it's.
But we do have,
Judy would know.
some other water rights that we're probably gonna be expending some of the SGRT on. I was gonna ask Judy what the balance was left in that.
But that's, at least to check into it again, it might be a possibility, and that might be portioned that where some of that, and then out of general or enterprise fund could.
Right.
Okay? Anything else?
That's all I got.
All right, Marty, thank you
Thanks,
as always.
Marty. I appreciate everything you do.
Doing a great job, guys.
Okay. Next is Street Department. Mark Coker, Joshua Long.
Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning.
No, I'm not.
You got caught up on your rest at all?
Somewhat.
Somewhat? Yep. Well, we appreciate everything that you guys had to do and stayed after it, and the streets look really good.
Thank you, thank you. Had a couple of good snow bands that caught us off guard, but pushed through.
And then working with P&M, the power company and all that, I know held you guys up a lot, so appreciate you guys staying after it. Okay, so go ahead, let's have your operational tree.
Okay, under myself, we have Lonnie Parsons, our longtime mechanic,
Mm-hmm.
and Miss Lisa Sanchez, our administration specialist. She's been there quite a while.
She keeps you going.
And our street supervisor is Ryan Blanchard. He's been around a long time and great guy, really knowledgeable. And we just opened up a street foreman position, and we hired in-house for that, Javier Arellano. And he is currently over some equipment operators, and our two newest hires are our maintenance technicians. Operators are Roger Garcia, Lance Dale, and Jim Ostick. And technicians are Joel Enriquez and Raul Cazada. And then Ryan is over the rest of our operators and, Beto Fernandez, Lloyd Hobbs, Nicholas Gonzalez, Alex Kurgan, Alex Salas, and Mario Ramirez.
So you don't have any openings currently?
Not currently, we're, full staff
Right.
for, I think the first time in a couple of years. Is that correct, Josh?
Since I can remember,
Quick, knock on wood.
Yes.
that's great.
Was that right after Josh left?
Yeah, it seems like a little coincidental. I'm not saying nothing, but,
Oh, okay. Josh set the standard very high. I mean, I'm just working to maintain that and grow on it, so. Well said. Our first goal, is our MAP project, our first priority. It's the Municipal Arterial Program. It'll be at Airport West. And that area is around Sunny Slope and up behind Farley's and across 48, up behind Club Gas and just a little bit of that area. And the scope of the work is, putting out the bar ditches and replace the culverts as needed. There are culverts that were damaged by some of the flooding that came off of, up behind University in that area. And, so we'll be looking at those and repairing the ones we can and replace the ones that are needed. And then we'll do the overlay of the hot mix on those roads. The strategic goals is just the sustainability and maintenance and get the roads upkept and make them last longer. Public safety and protection, I hate to use the H word, or the P word, the potholes, but, we need to get those fixed. There's a lot of damage to vehicles that are.
So, Mark, I'm curious, how did we decide on Airport West?
Yes, sir. Mayor, Mr. Corey, on that, this is one of the ones that I had put in. This area here has been in bad shape for a long time, and it's just, we're trying to get with these, the worst ones, and bring everything back up. This also, with being the MAP project, has to connect highway to highway. So what we did here, and it's all gonna be on the west side of Meacham. And what we're doing is we're going in on Mustang. We're using Mustang as our connector. So we'll come in off of White Mountain, go down Mustang, and then come back in over the burger place.
Anaheim Jacks.
Anaheim Jacks. So we're using that as a connector to be able to use our MAP funding for that area back there.
Okay. So picking up on what Councilor Salas said, and I hate to date myself, but in the 20th century, we had a comprehensive road plan. And I asked this question last year and was told, we don't currently have a road plan, and to get one would cost several $100,000, which arguably shooting ourselves in the foot, because we need that money to actually do road work. But as I'm reading everything, all of these street projects are funded through the state.
TPF, MAP funding.
So if we don't get state funding,
Mayor
the
Crawford,
street's not gonna be.
Councilor Corey, yes, we'll need another revenue stream in order to fund it, and it's being subsidized by the general fund, so just,
So, picking up on that, I mean, I personally would argue, especially now that Judy's not in the room, I feel safe saying this, but, to try to allocate more out of the general fund for streets, because, I mean, you guys know, our streets are getting worse and worse, and of course, the weather events, be it flood or rain or ice, isn't helping, so.
Well, a lot of the projects that we do have funding for, we hadn't even been able to get to the last 2 years.
Because of manpower?
Flood,
Flood.
all of that, so we've had to back those up. So it's all about temperature, and we've had to go back and get those funds because you only have a certain amount of time to use them, and then they claw them back. So Ron's been very good about going in with DFA and getting the funds, the time limits extended so we can use it. And then it comes down to getting a contractor, him keeping his piece of machinery running. And that's what I was giving him a hard time all ago, is like, he's got all this, why aren't we doing it? Because it broke down and it took us
Oh, yeah.
6 months to get the tanker and all the different things for it. So, but you do have a list of streets that are just in really bad, that you triage those, you try to tie them into the MAP funding, which is, it has to tie into like 48 or state highway.
Yes.
So that's where you're using Mustang to connect, so that we can
White Mountain to
actually go
Mustang
into the
to
community.
And I understand, but a lot of our residential streets aren't interconnected.
And then the TPF funds is where you've gone in and done a lot.
The TPF funds and the other streets, this is just for the map. This map project is due this June.
Okay.
Then, of course, you know, we're putting in every year. Even though we still got to catch up on these, we're still putting in for our map and co-op projects. And then the next one after that would be, for our map project, would be Upper and Lower Terrace, Rainbow, and coming around through there and connecting back into Course-View. And coming back up and connecting into the highway there. We can do surrounding areas directly to that on the map. Your next question would be more for the co-op.
Okay.
Where you're coming, what you're asking with that one for a lot of our neighborhoods. So that would actually be in the co-op projects.
Okay. And how do we prioritize potholes?
So far, the way we've been doing it is we get the daily calls on the potholes. And we hit everyone that we can. That's been.
Well, I know anytime I've called, you guys are on it within a day or two.
Yes, sir.
So that's what our citizens need to do at the present time. If they've got potholes, call the street department.
Counselor Court, yes.
Okay.
No, call Counselor Corey, is that what you said?
Yeah, I'm calling Counselor Corey.
Perfect.
Call
Josh,
day or night. Let me post that now.
But I do know you got, and I've actually seen just with the blades out, running through, picking up, and a big chunk of asphalt come up with that ice. I've been behind it, seen it in a big old hole, so we're gonna have a bunch more.
yeah.
Yeah, events like over the weekend, we're gonna have, we're already getting flooded with calls. So, with snow removal and, making potholes as we're plowing, so.
How many miles of road do we have?
125,
I thought it was
no,
400.
that's a different one. Go ahead.
400?
So we have over 300 miles of paved road and over 100 miles of dirt road. So over 400 miles.
Yeah.
and Mayor Crawford and council, you know, we're in a situation just like the Department of Transportation, throughout the state, they have highways and roadways in bad shape and not a revenue source to be able to fund it. So they're in the same, having the same issues as us and trying to do some of these roadways. And we do need other, besides our crews, as contractors to come in and help do these roadways. And trying to find that revenue or grant funding is not always easy, so.
And then we're fighting with other communities.
Right.
That get funding too, to get the contractors in to do the
But
work.
Levi, based upon what you said earlier, you know, if we allocated $1 million from the general fund for streets, that's 2 miles.
Yes, sir.
So,
If it's your street, that's a lot of good going in.
Also, Mayor Crawford and council, and that's why we're also going after, we're doing also an EDA application, but we're never guaranteed with these grant applications. We're doing an application up to about $10 million for roadways and things also in the Upper Canyon, some other areas to be able to find those other sources, have a contractor actually do the road work. Well, you know, the Mark and Josh and their crews are out doing our smaller projects.
And for example, like Innsbrook and Metz and all that over there, they've been trying to complete that for almost 2 years, but the weather.
washing out.
And so I hope that when the pavement warms up, the earth gets warm enough that that's first on the list, I think, to finish that one. Because we've done the sewer and the water.
Mayor, yes, sir. And with that, I mean, we can go into our co-op and that'll cover that part.
Tell us how the co-op program works.
Well, the
It's just
cooperative program is for areas for our main thoroughfares. So every, I can't even think right now.
Like Warrior, like,
Every area, you know, has a main thoroughfare through it.
Right.
So Warrior, Jack Little, I mean, you go across White Mountain, Bonanza, we could go up and use Coconino up above that for this area, as long as it's a main thoroughfare through that area for our co-op project. Now, once we do that, now we can connect in all the surrounding roads to that road. So, if we have our little one, say, up off of Coconino, you've got, Angeles, Catrone, and all them little roads like that, we can connect that into our co-op project to be able to get the smaller
Okay,
roads that you're talking
Josh,
about.
how is the co-op project funded?
The co-op project is funded through the state as well.
But then we have to pay 25%.
Yes, sir. It's a match on that. So as in,
like Black Forest and you've just Flume Canyon.
right, so with this, you know, Innsbrook, was total cost of $257,077. The state covered 75% of it, which was $192,808. And then with us, we contribute 25%, $64,269, which for us, we can use our in-kind services. Using our asphalt, our manpower and everything is generally how we pay off that part of the co-op and with the MAP project as well.
Okay.
And, go ahead.
And forgive me, I'm not casting aspersions, I'm just trying to get educated. Again, how do we prioritize? I mean, how'd Sunny's Flow get on here versus some other street?
With that, we do have to look at our projects as well. We can't put in for the same area for 10 years. So with this project, once we get Innsbrook done, we won't be able to use that area for another 10 years.
Okay, I didn't.
And so once you do certain areas, so a lot of this is we're having to look for areas that, you know, I haven't done since I've been here. There was a lot of these places, you know, that when I first started, we were doing this. So now it's coming into that 10-year rotation, and we can kind of go back to these areas that are needing it. But as far as that is, you have to wait 10 years before you can put in for that neighborhood again.
Thank you, Josh. I didn't.
And Mayor Crawford and council, and I agree, we need to do a roadway master plan. I mean, that's something, we can look at a planning grant, but that's something we do need to have to identify that, so we can at least have that
Yeah,
document
I
in order to.
I was surprised, as many complaints as we get about our roads, that didn't come up, or I didn't see that in the new comprehensive plan.
Nope.
So that tells me maybe we're just hearing from a vocal minority.
Well, and a lot of that is like the speeders or whatever, you get those people that are always calling you. And that's when we go out and evaluate, health, safety, welfare, and all of those kind of things. And so that takes priority. Some of these roads, when you go down them, they are absolutely horrible that we've got to do something. So these guys will go do patches and things like that to try to get them where they're passable until we're able to figure out. And they're on a list. They've had a list. I've seen it before where they put a list of these to do, and then you have one that's just totally goes terrible that they start triaging and then maintaining it. And so we're going to have to do something.
Well, and Josh, when you talk about the 10 years, I've lived on the same street for 25 years, and it's never been repaved.
Right.
Oh, here we go.
No.
there it
That's
is.
not what it's about.
And that goes to, that I've been working off of previous people with what JR has done, what Fred has done, and now that I'm doing, and I'm having to go back through these projects and these co-ops and find the areas that haven't been done yet or that we can start doing again.
And Mayor Crawford and council, just again with the matching, it's on the map in the co-op, it's 75-25. We self-perform on the map and co-op on the TPF, that's a 95-5, so it's only, for 2 million, we pay 100,000,
Yeah,
so.
we'll get more bang for the buck.
Exactly.
And you also do chip seal to spread it farther or cover more roadway.
Yes, sir. We do chip sealing. Chip sealing only works though if your road's in
Good shape.
decent shape,
Yeah.
yes. So, unfortunately, the last few years, we've kind of really held off on the chip sealing, and everything's been more about paving and trying to get it back up so that we can start the chip sealing process again.
Okay.
Any other questions?
1-800 Greg Corey. Pothole, the potholes are,
When
you guys do a good job.
when you pave his road, make sure you get his driveway too.
The next on our list is our co-op project again, and we've been up in Black Forest trying to get that area finished out.
We're still not finished on Flume Canyon?
We are approximately 85% done. We had some mechanical issues with our roller and our laydown machine, and we're pulled all the way out, just almost to the entrance, and we lack going up Wimbledon and back up in that area.
So how old is that laydown machine? As I seem to hear it coming around.
The laydown machine is, it's a 2015, but that thing, it is ran hard and full throttle. When it's in use, it's full throttle constantly. It's got to run, you've got heaters and everything else on it underneath it, generators, and it said for 10, 12 hours a day when we are paving with it, it's like holding your car down with the accelerator, just holding the accelerator down and just, revving it
So
up.
what does that look like? Levi?
Mayor, council, so we're actually asking for another laydown machine. We'll get to that here in just a second.
Okay, good. I didn't see it, so great.
With that, our other part is Innsbrook Village, and as soon as we can get the weather, we're going to finish that up. So that's,
Spring.
Mayor, council, so we're currently waiting on NRCS on that Innsbrook area as well.
Yep.
They're in engineering and they have some work that hasn't been completed in that area, and we could have got in there and paved it, but with all the heavy equipment gonna be on it, they would have trashed the road right away. So, we're in communication. I'm working with Ron on that, and with NRCS, with Patrick, with JD and, or King Industries now. So, just, if we do end up doing it, then they're gonna have to be responsible if they do damage the road. We've looked at that route, or, we're holding off because we did go over there and we did pave, temporarily. We patched, and they were real happy with that.
The residents are real happy with the patch job, because they understand the process.
So we have contractors from King Industries?
No, King Industries.
County. They're
King-
right already.
But what they're doing is the digging out there of Innsbrook, and the redesign of the little walking dams and things through Innsbrook. NRCS has a project that goes through
And they're
there.
through
And then
NRCS.
King does the monitoring and through DRC, or that's through NRCS. And they'll hire a contractor to go out there and do the desilting. And what they do is they bring those big track hoses in there, and if we just do fresh paving, it rips it up.
Right.
And so that's why it hadn't been done, but where we put in all the new water, sewer, they went in and patched all the gaps in there, so it made it drivable. And so I appreciate that, but it needs to be all redone, but they kept telling us they were in engineering, and they still haven't finished engineering.
This is, Mayor, Council, this has been since last summer.
Yep. And so I guess we need to put that on our,
They were using the same engineer that we know about.
oh, boy.
the 603.
Marty, yeah, the one that's been terminated from everywhere now. Okay. Okay, so we know what we got to do on that one. We'll keep putting the pressure on, see if we can get it done.
Moving forward, our next goal is updating our heavy equipment in our fleet, pickup trucks. We're looking to purchase a 3/4 ton Duramax to replace an F-250 Super Cab that we've had for several years. Another 3/4 ton utility fuel truck.
What's the 3/4 tons? Are they hauling a lot of equipment, or? So that's because, I know
Pulling
before
trailers.
y'all were going after the half tons that had the 3/4 ton chassis, but still had the Duramax on it.
And
That wasn't us, no, sir. Most of all of our stuff, most of all of our stuff is all gotta be 3/4 ton or 1 ton. I mean, we're hauling, the trailer with hot mix behind it, the pothole trailer.
Okay,
We're hauling culverts, we're hauling our mafia block and our Jersey barriers, so all of our trucks are gonna be heavier duty trucks. Snow plows.
okay,
Are we purchasing, or is this
Yeah.
leased to?
no,
Purchase?
The pickup trucks would be a purchase.
Purchase.
okay. And you like the Chevys, those Duramaxes? We seem to be having good luck with those in the water department. What? Y'all are talking.
Mayor, council.
We just know that we don't like Dodges for the police department.
Up until this week, it had been okay, but after this weekend, I'm not so sure, but we'll evaluate
Yeah,
that.
that's any of the new vehicles right now. I mean, they're just all the electronics.
Yes.
It's a mess.
they're all pretty comparative, but we all have our
Suck.
preferences. But,
Okay. Well, we just like to see what's working in the field that can stand up, and then you guys inspect your equipment, and most all of it, I see, it's pretty well maintained, cleaned and all of that stuff, but I was just hearing a lot of good things about the Duramax, and people seemed happy with them, but we just want to make sure that's the case.
Is this paving machine, Josh, what you were talking about?
Yes,
Okay.
I didn't see it down there. And then you got the roller. Man, I can't believe it's $150,000 for that. What's it filled with? Water? Yeah.
No, it's just a
Solid?
steel wheel roller. And, we do fill it with water, but that's just to keep the asphalt. It sprays the roller itself to keep the asphalt
From sticking in.
from sticking to it while you're rolling.
Wow. I'll tell you what, skid steers have gone through the
Boy, that's a
roof.
big one.
Mayor, council, so that is also with quite a few attachments
Okay.
on the skid steer to help us out with like a milling attachment on the front that'll help
That's
out with doing potholes, so we can do a better job on potholes. It'll do a cut so that it can be flat, then maybe it won't get ripped up when we pave or when we're snow plowing over it. It's a lot of labor intensive work that can be eliminated with a tool.
Way more efficient. And we can utilize that in a lot of our ditch cleaning as well, getting into places where a backhoe just can't get.
Is this all in our budget?
This is what he's building his budget on.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to add it up here.
Oh, don't add it.
Is it? $921,000. There's your $1 million. Okay. I mean, I don't disagree with any of it.
No.
We're just gonna have to look at what we got and squeeze the money tree.
We have received our new Peterbilt water truck, and we will be able to use that also for fire suppression, wildfires. And a Peterbilt dump truck, we received it, and we're awaiting the two new crew cabs that were budgeted, I believe, last year. Is that it?
On the dump truck, a 12-yarder?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And it is currently at Rush Peterbilt in El Paso.
What about a plow for it? And a plow?
We've been dealing with some warranty mechanical issues.
Want it? Why is it, it's brand new?
Brand new. It's got maybe
100 hours?
not even.
Not even
Not even.
100?
I was thinking about
It's
six.
a lemon. Exchange it.
So what's the problem you're having with it?
Mayor, council, it had a leak, hydraulic leak.
Of the PTO.
Okay, and that was the main thing?
So it's down at Rush, and Josh has been fighting with them to try to get it fixed for several weeks, but we would have liked to have had it for this event for sure. It would have been a huge help, but
Make a note of that.
Yeah,
and
we'll
call.
and then we'll get with Zach here too, so that's
Yeah,
it's
well,
not acceptable.
They are taking care of it now. It was through TBI. I finally did get a hold.
TBI,
They're
find it.
who builds the Peterbilt.
Uh-huh.
It's a Peterbilt truck. TBI does all the hydraulics, the snowplow, and builds the truck from there. So Peterbilt sends it to TBI. I did get a hold of Peterbilt and told them that you do need to call them because they're fighting. They won't return my phone calls. This is a warranty and it will be fixed. And Peterbilt finally called TBI and they ended up calling me back about 5 minutes after I got a hold of them. And it is down in El Paso right now. TBI is sending all the parts to Rush in El Paso. to have them fix it through TBI, and the warranty and everything will be charged through to TBI to fix it.
Okay. Well, and then next time you have issues like that, you don't have time to deal with just all of that, but, I mean, you make your attempts, you make your phone calls, you're not getting anywhere. That's why he's got some, what do you call those things? The billboards coming out. The bulldog, he's gonna come after them, and we're gonna zigzag on them because you got things to do. And
Yes,
so
sir.
we just need to move that forward. But that's a shame. I can see the hydraulic, but the rest of the truck, you hadn't had even a chance to find out how sound it is.
No, sir.
Okay.
Actually, we lost the joystick for to raise and lower the bed, right off the bat. There was a nut that fell off and shorted out the electrical system,
I
and
don't know, I'm with rifle.
we had to
I don't know.
replace that right off the bat, so
Exchange
it's,
Have them build you a new one.
I mean, that would be great, but that ain't gonna happen. It'd take too long and just
Took 2.5
half years to get it.
3 years to get this one.
Golly. Okay.
our next goal is retain manpower. I said currently, we are at full staff. Would like to add 3 more entry-level positions. One would be a entry-level mechanic to help our mechanic.
Wait a minute, say it again. You want 3 or 4?
It would be 4, but
4, I apologize.
3 techs and 1 mechanic.
Yes.
3 entry-level maintenance. And add an assistant shop mechanic. Is that the 4th one?
Yes, sir.
Why don't we hire we can't keep mechanics because we're not paying them.
Well, we're paying them. They just go somewhere else. It's the same old story, that.
Will these new positions require additional vehicles?
No, sir.
Because on our budget, we're already at 70% of our budgeting. It's all up for employees, it's all for whatever, so you can pay them whatever you want to, and you can't sustain it. So, the only way we make money is GRT, and then off the grants, and
I understand.
then raise the, we were at $150, and we're gonna be going up after the waters, what was it? The what? The rate analysis. It keeps going up to help fund these things, and, and it's just, there's just a shortage of those people. I mean, we can always try to pay more, but it gets down to sustainability. The contractor, he just lays them off and, see ya. And then we'll get applications, and then when we're rolling like we are right now, they want to go over for the extra $5 or $6 an hour. And then when that job's complete, they can just lay them off. We can't do that here.
How much do we pay a mechanic?
This one is starting $72,121.
So that's including all benefits as well.
Okay.
So that would
Probably
be
about
starting
50.
at entry level, same as our maintenance, our maintenance technicians. So with this, that would allow Lonnie to have help, somebody be in there with them, and he'd basically just be an assistant. And Lonnie would be able to tell, hey, I need you to do this, and he'd be right there in the shop with them to be able to watch and oversee everything that's going on. But helping everyday things with changing oil in our pickup while Lonnie's working on the heavy equipment or our dump trucks.
What's the burden on labor right now? What's the additional for para and insurances? 32%. Okay. And these guys aren't matching that, the guys. So what is that on 72? About 50-something thousand, 58?
I think we pay $17 an hour for that position.
A little over $17 an hour, yes, sir. $17.61, I think.
Do these mechanics have, do they have certifications? Or are they just like?
Mayor, Counselor Letterman, this one will be at Tech, just
Varies.
entry level.
Yeah, okay.
It's 37,000, Mayor.
37,000? 37,000 is the burden? Okay, so that's about,
At the 1761
Okay.
an hour.
and so the total that we have to come up, make sure that we're preparing for $72,121
Yes, sir.
per
And then-
employee.
Then we'll have to include overtime in that too. That position may not work as much overtime, but, I mean, throughout our departments, we work a lot of overtime in Public Works.
Yeah.
And
that's-
Lonnie does come out and help us too, you know, he runs the loader for us,
Mhm.
loading the hot plant when we're operating, we have everybody out. I mean, Lonnie puts in a lot of work with it.
So that's one of the things, we'll have to have a whole analysis again of the payroll and revenue. And, we'll see what we can do, because we've always gone right up to the line on all of
I
these.
just thought I remember several years ago that we were trying to have in-house people so that, I see the police cars at, what's the tire company here on Meacham?
Yeah,
Hometown Auto. Are those there for
Repairs.
mechanical issues?
Just regular maintenance.
Yep.
on
Oil
that.
changes
Oil
and-
change and tire
Well,
rotation.
we did our own maintenance years ago, didn't we?
Yes, sir. When I first
didn't
hired
work
on
out.
here, there was actually 3 mechanics at the street department.
Yeah.
One did the police cars and the other entities, and then one was for our trucks, medium duty, lighter trucks, and then we had a heavy equipment mechanic as well.
Along with the 3 entry-level mechanic, or technicians, it would allow us to, have 2 crews at times where we can be paving and we could also have a pothole crew. And just, that's all they can just go do potholes and potholes and potholes.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Our last goal, of the building, the hot mix plant and property maintenance. We are updating the electrical system for the hot mix plant. We do have a new control room and a lot of the equipment, we're just, wired in.
So was this budgeted already?
It was, but with the hot plant, we had a lot of issues, so we had to.
So you need more.
So you diverted money from
We
the,
diverted money from this to,
because you were building a building or covered to park it. Weren't you to surround this, the hot mix plant? So it wasn't exposed?
no, we have the new building for our control room.
Okay, that was it.
And that's what the building was for our control room. We do have the new MCM panels, and all the electrical panels. Now we're just needing the time to get the building set and get the panels in and then have it wired in.
So the hot mix we use primarily for potholes?
No, you use it for the self-performance, like what you're doing on Black Forest.
Black Forest for the paving for our MAP projects, our co-op projects, some of these smaller roads.
So does that get applied towards the match?
Yes.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's an in-kind.
And then it's in-kind services, and then also, we use it for our street cuts or utility cuts from, and then, if we do have it while we're out, we do use it for potholes, while we're out. We don't specifically make it for potholes. We do have a cold mix that we have been using lately, and it's actually been working really well with staying in. It comes from Rocca Asphalt out of San Antonio. And it's been working really well. It's helping us save. We do,
Does it come in 50-pound bags or whatever?
it comes in 50-pound bags, and then it comes in, I've been ordering it by, I believe it's a yard. It's 2,100-pound bag, and that's what we've been putting into the,
You'll see the guys
the
pull
trailer.
up and they'll, chip it out.
You're putting it
So would
into
you
the-
just, for all of us, explain, when you do your asphalt plant, your lay-down machine, and that stuff, the process, just real cursory. Ned's first grade reader kind of stuff. So that way everybody understands when you're talking about you need a new lay-down machine, and then the hot mix plant that we spent all that money on the controls in the building and trying to get the parts for, and that we all understand.
Okay, well, the hot mix plant is, how we make our asphalt. So.
And it's stationary.
It's stationary, it stays at the yard. It sits in there, it has 3 bins that we load material into. And then it runs down a conveyor belt and goes into a giant burner. And once the material goes, it shoots the material into there, and the material starts running through a drum, almost like a dryer. It rotates the material. And that's where we add our oil at with our new hot oil tank and everything that we just got. Goes in there, and then it mixes everything together. And then comes out and discharges into a silo, which runs up, we dump, that's what holds, the silo's what holds all of our hot mix. And then we dump that into our trucks. The lay-down machine is what we use to physically put the asphalt down. It's a vibrator on it. That was part of the problems we were having with it, is one vibrator went out, and so roughly 80% of your compaction comes from your machine itself. So as you're laying it out, you have vibrators that are vibrating, and you're
Settling
sitting on
it.
top of it, and 80% of your compaction roughly comes from that alone.
And then your steel roller.
And then we have the steel wheel roller that rolls it and compacts it afterwards.
And it's all a timed, they have to run it through everything in timing. So when something breaks, it blows the whole chain of events.
It throws everything off, yes.
And it's around 290 degrees constant,
Yeah.
or a little bit higher.
It smells good, it's nice and warm. Why wouldn't anybody want to go do that?
I'd like to see the hot plant someday.
And you'd be more than welcome, I'm sure, to come over.
Love to show you.
Okay, thank you for that. It's just when you're talking about these things, I want these guys to understand, it's a whole process,
Right.
and it's not easy. And the equipment is used hard.
Yes. The asphalt plant, if you've ever gone by C-Mix or AgTech down there, it's kind of roughly about the same size as their concrete plant down there.
Wow.
Okay.
We're needing 2 new shop doors. We had just replaced one. They're old, the heavy steel roll-up doors, and they're just getting wore out. The new doors are very much more insulated and lighter, and just better all around. We have our new HVAC system for the office out there, and our new hot oil tank and heater is in, and we just, like we were talking earlier, we're needing to finish the control room for the hot mix plant. That's gonna make the plant run so much more efficient.
So the maintenance cost $100,000. That's just on the annual basis?
Yes.
Yeah, for right now, we have been, the last few years, we've done $50,000 But when we're down right now, when we go to put in the new building, we have two parts that we've got to replace, and that's $35,000 alone just for the two parts. And then with our oil, you know, I do every 2 years for the heating oil.
Uh-huh.
That keeps there's a heater there as well.
And it's not a cheap oil.
No.
It's that triple hydrocarbon.
Sales of it is $10,000.
Yeah, it's expensive
Yeah.
hydrocarbon, the triple chains, yeah.
It's a high temperature oil.
The heater runs 24/7, so.
Oh, that sounds so good. Heat.
It is till the summer.
No, she even wants it in the summer.
I'll come work.
But you do have the,
325, 350 degrees.
yeah,
Yeah, I'll be there.
Mayor, it was like you were talking earlier, the plant is a 1968 model.
Yep.
And parts are, when we
Hard
can
to
find
get.
them, they're expensive.
Yep.
They're,
and that's the reason nobody else has one, is because it's expensive upfront and to maintain, and then you have to have the expertise to be able to do it. And then we still do that, and then we still hire out, and we still have bad roads. So it's a process, so thank you guys. And so, the control room set and wired, we'll do that weather permitting, and then now you have the money for that already?
That, we did have the money for.
Oh, that's right, you
But we had
repurposed
to-
it, I'm sorry.
We had to move that money over for
Yeah, you
other
already told
things.
us, I'm sorry, got it. Okay.
So how much do we need for that?
They got 60 grand up there.
Oh, 60, yeah.
Now, those swags, or do you have electrician, do you have pretty close on that cost?
Yes, sir, this was actually the cost from AAA Technical, that it is our hot plant technician. So, he'll come down, what we'll do is we'll get the building and everything set for him. We have the new control panels, they're actually sitting in the street shop right now, so that they're not outside. And once we get the building set, then we will get those in and take them over there and get everything set up. And he'll come in, do the final on it, run the wiring to it.
If
And,
that's a quote right there, that price is still gonna be good, you think?
that was, probably have to get a new one.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
That was about, 4 months ago, I do believe on that.
Okay.
Maybe a little over 4 or 5 months ago.
Well, we'll see.
It
Okay, but
was-
it's in the
well,
ballpark.
Right, it's in the ballpark, yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Anybody else have any questions?
thank you for.
Yeah,
Well,
thanks
your
a lot, Mark.
inaugural worked out real well. No, you did a great job. So thank you, guys. And next, we have
Appreciate it.
solid waste, Mr. Parsons. Well, yes, I'm trying to keep you around long enough because I think lunch is coming, isn't it? Oh, it's here?
Oh, it's here.
15 minutes till, and we know how much Jerry likes to talk, or do you think you keep it close? We can just finish and run right into lunch. Thanks, guys.
We've only done
Thanks.
3.
Yeah, okay, don't forget your microphone there. We want to hear every word.
Hello, Mayor, Councilor.
Jerry?
So that's about it.
Thanks for coming in, and that was a great presentation.
It's a 5-star.
On my organizational chart, and I apologize, I don't know what happened. The one I submitted is not the one in y'all's book.
Okay.
I think that happened last year, and I don't know, I really don't know how that keeps happening. So my positions pending is, the assistant under me. And as of the 9th, we'll have that one vacant position filled.
Which one is
You
that?
talking about the worker operator driver?
Down at the bottom, that's the worker operator driver.
You'll have that one filled?
Uh-huh.
Okay. But now, go back to the assistant,
The
please.
one in the middle, which don't show in y'all's book.
Right, so it's right under you?
Uh-huh.
And
Okay.
The
Mayor and
assistant.
council, that's something, it's not a budgeted position, but that's something that we're working with Jerry on there, that
We don't have that.
we need to do some succession planning and have an assistant that we can
This,
have with Jerry there, so.
Okay, so we'll be interviewing in-house and everywhere out?
Mayor and council, if it is authorized through the budget, and then we'll do that process, so.
Okay,
I got forestry.
I think I'm the only department that don't have a,
assistant manager.
and actually, I've been gonna do that. Last year, Michael's been, wanted that early, when he first came.
Okay,
I just hadn't pushed the button on it.
okay, well, we'll see if we can work on that one.
And, the first tactical, is always the same, with the trash cans, getting the trash cans. This year, we got to, get a bunch, of new ones because, Madison helping us with FEMA.
Okay,
nice.
And,
yeah, I saw a bunch that were stacked over off, yeah, that looked good.
we, want to keep them locked up.
Yeah, until after monsoon or what?
Well,
Well, I know I saw one on my street that was in bad shape. It's been there for years and it's got a new one out there now, so.
Oh, right after they repaved.
Yeah, I know, it's amazing.
I used to.
And fiber internet.
Yeah. We
I
used
don't know
to,
how that's happening.
we used to keep some over here by our yard,
Yeah,
across the street before I got all that
uh-huh. On that one piece of property now, they've opened it.
taken away. And they'd get painted and graffitied before we could even
Get them out.
get them out. But anyhow, that's what we always do there. Keep them trash cans going. And that's with maintaining just out of regular budget.
So you're going back with all the metal lids? I know you've
We always
replaced
do.
all those fiberglass ones that we used to have with the bear lock on them, so.
We always stay with the metal lids.
Okay.
And, I'll put this back in. I didn't get to mess with it, last year with all the going-ons. We did get, 5 new grapples and
And they're nice.
2 new track trucks. But this year I want to replace my 2007, Peterbilts that I ordered in 2007. That's my biggest goal, is, to replace those 2 semis, tractor and trailers.
The tractor, the 1999,
The KW,
yep, that one. And then you got a 2000.
I got 2 that I bought in 2007, ordered special, the cats.
That need to be replaced.
I want to replace them.
I'm trying to find it, where's it?
I had 2 of those 99s, and I gave one to the street department.
Okay,
I actually want to stick a new engine in that one later.
so
They
where's your, I'm looking for the 2 you're wanting to purchase, where are they listed?
They're, the second go.
We only have
Y'all's look
one.
different on that too.
Yeah, I only see one, the 99 KW, and
So we need 2 there?
I want to do 2 of them,
Okay, so you said a replacement.
of
Am I
2
just not
tractor
seeing it?
trailers.
Maintain current funding.
that's what I got.
So maybe we just didn't get the updated version. So to replacement of the 1999 KW, you want 2?
Semi tractor trailers.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay. And you said Peterbilt, doesn't matter?
Peterbilts.
Okay.
And we go through the HGAC on that.
Okay. Do we have an idea of what those run?
They're gonna be over 350,000 apiece.
Okay.
It's pretty bad.
Well, everything in this world has gone like that.
How long would it take us to get those?
Right now, they're only 6 months out.
Oh.
Actually, that's the best I've ever done. When I bought them in 2007, I waited a year for them. But back then, it was still pretty, it was hard.
Yeah.
Judy, is this an enterprise fund?
I am an enterprise fund.
But this, he doesn't have that in his balance.
It just depends if it's included, if it was included in the master plan and the rate analysis, because if it wasn't, then.
I don't remember it. I could be wrong, but I don't remember it, but,
We usually have surf.
yeah, surf that we go after too.
There's no surf.
No surf on this one?
It's-
Okay, no.
Should have been included in the,
And maybe it was, maybe I'm just not remembering it.
it might have been in the master plan upgrade. Because I know they did a lot of equipment and personnel positions in distribution and production to go along with the rate analysis. And I know Jerry had a pretty big, rate increase this last
Yep.
July. So it could have already been in his plan. So if it is in his plan, then it's already covered. But
Okay.
if not,
Well, then we'll all have a Merry Christmas. That'd be great. Let's hope that that's what we did, but I know that you've been working on trying to get some trucks for a while. Maybe we did.
And also, this one is, we're gonna try to get this one knocked out. This one's put back in, it's to update the container shop. Excuse me. With, new metal
Mm-hmm.
and, spray foam insulation. We wanna try to get that knocked out this year.
Okay.
Any questions?
Nope. I think that's a big one,
Yes, sir.
as you do a lot of work keeping those things in shape. Has it got a heater and everything in it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
We just replaced one of them.
okay.
What they're on. All of my stuff is kind of on a, just a change out, deal, my heaters and
Okay.
everything.
On just a maintenance, you rotate them after so many years. Okay, it's good. How big is that shop? I know it's up there by the transfer station in the back,
That shop is 60 by 40,
60 by 40.
but a lot of it is got the pit underneath it.
Right. Okay.
Rifle says he wanted to come to work.
Yeah, he's looking for something to do.
I am. I need a job.
Next, we got Corey a job.
Ran, so
We
it's
got
like, oh,
rifle
man.
job, Susan.
Yes.
You're up. We're gonna find you a job.
I love it.
Bear mess.
I think I
Bear
can-
mess, yeah.
No, I
You
think,
look cute in a one-piece pull-up onesie with some gloves.
I don't know, I like the grapple trucks. I think
Yeah.
that would be fun.
Do you have enough folks to run the grapple trucks? That's what I was looking at.
So we're still gonna, as of the 9th, we'll have,
That'll fill your cart.
but he'll learn the trash trucks first.
Okay.
It's still gonna be a little while till we get
Um,
everybody on grapple trucks that needs to be on grapple trucks.
Okay,
But we're getting there,
excellent.
actually for the first time in quite a while. And then the last one is always we like to maintain the current funding for the Keep Redosa Beautiful and helping that out.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Jerry, appreciate it.
And Mayor and Council also, we'll be visiting with council about our current contract with Universal Waste. So that'll be where Jerry and his crews will be transporting debris, pine needles and tree limbs and slash to a different site. And then from there, it's going to go to our green waste plant.
So it's,
Close enough.
so it wouldn't go from, it doesn't go just straight out there. It
We
has to
won't-
go to
Is
a,
that gonna be at the airport?
Uh-huh.
Eventually, yes.
Yep, eventually that's where it's gonna be. So we'll have it where it's chipped.
Yep.
So
And
we'll probably
then
go from 4 loads a day to 2.
you're gonna go from 4 loads.
I mean, as far as that is, as long as it takes to get out there, that's gonna really knock down on your loads.
Mm-hmm. Well, because right now, we're end up sending it over to UWS. They're chipping it and then we're paying to have it transported to Oro Grande.
That's $500,000.
We'll save on the fees.
So $500,000, $6 million, 600,000, so.
Are we part owner of that?
We just own the land, we get GRT, and then we get rent, land lease, and then we get, on the back end, we get a percentage of sales.
Okay.
For all those different things, and then we've worked out deals with the county, the tribe, and we haven't got them all signed. I think the county, he's texting me now, I don't know if that's what he was going to call him about, that they will get a revenue share too, so that we turn those waste streams into revenue. So that's the plan. Okay.
Y'all have anything else?
thanks a lot, Jerry. Appreciate all the hard work.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, we don't ever hear any squeaking out of your department, and that's great, but we know you guys are always there.
Good family.
I see you do double pickups on big weekends in certain areas of town when people call me in, that we've had a lot of short-term rentals in there. So those are things that we've tried to figure in to the short-term rental fee that we need to be, just like we do in Parks and Rec when we have special, that it needs to be added fees, so we need to
Yes.
readjust that, so we're paying Jerry back for the
Well, not
extra
only
labor.
the second pickups, but I've seen where your guys have come out and they've just removed some big items out of
Yeah, with the
dumpster.
grapple trucks.
Yeah.
That illegal dumping is pathetic.
And we've tried for years to come up with a place to drop off where we could have it, where people could come and throw the stuff instead of us having to go all over town and get it. And then we were talking about it had to be manned because of the insurance implications if it's a pit and they back off in it, or somebody gets hurt, and then having it locked so people aren't in there scavenging through it. And so we've worked on that. We talked about doing it over where the old dog pound, Humane Society was.
We tried.
Yeah, and we haven't got there yet, so.
The money.
And Jerry's always very responsive. I'll call him on the weekends and I'm out looking at things. There's a whole section around a dumpster and he gets his crews over there, or somebody calls and the dumpsters are full and in an area, and he'll go and get somebody out and they'll get the trash emptied out. So thank you, Jerry.
Usually his first line of defense is he has these signs that says free, and he runs by and slaps that on this crap, and if they don't pick it up, then he sends somebody.
Yeah.
Sometimes that works.
Lightly used.
Oh, man, it's free, I gotta take it. Okay, so thank you very much, Jerry.
Appreciate you.
Anybody else have any questions?
Nope.
Okay,
job,
if we're
Jerry, good
good,
job.
y'all are good, we'll have lunch,
Yes.
right?
Then we'll come back to
Perfect.
Lee will be next. He's on deck.
And Mr. Lee will be next.